All right, so that one, I'll go ahead and tell you that one is, I'll still, you can change your mind if you want to, but that one is notorious for being one of the very worst spells because it sounds great on paper and is practically worthless in functionality. So there is a homebrewed version that kind of brings it in line with the others. It doesn't make it overpowered, but it does make it a little more feasible, a little more useful. So I'll give you that one instead. So basically, what you see on there, you'll be getting a slightly upgraded version essentially from that. If that makes sense.
I think the Bard version of that is something called True Strike. If I remember
it is True Strike. That's exactly what he chose.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he chose.
Yep.
Yeah, True Strike is
because everybody picks it because it sounds fucking great. Like so everybody when they're still learning spellcasters and stuff, they always pick that one thinking that it's going to be good, and then it ends up being practically worthless. But the kind of slightly over,
especially since it only lasts because it's only one round, it gives you advantage on the next round, but. If you just attack twice,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if you just attack twice, it would be the same thing.
Yeah.
The only thing it gives you is you roll. There's only roll a dice, and you get to learn one of the target's traits, like either their weaknesses or their something like that.
No, that's a not fighter ability. I think that you're talking about.
I think that's the monk or a fighter ability. Yeah. So literally, True Strike just gives you.
Yeah, True Strike is just the one that gives you advantage on your next attack, but it only lasts for one turn. So, but
if it was a bonus action,
yeah, that's it. That's what the upgraded version. The upgraded version makes it a bonus action essentially.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad then.
And that way you can use it in the same turn. So you use.
By the way,
first and then make the attack.
I'm gonna give myself a D&D pat on the back for
guessing it.
The same fucking
Yep.
I'm proud of myself.
I think you did the same thing, though. I'm pretty sure you said you want a True Strike, and I was like, well, you can if you want, but here's what the reality of this one is, because it's a real common one early on that everybody picks initially because it does look great until you
and it costs nothing. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, exactly.
But the action is. Yep.
Fox, you already chose yours. I put that one in there for you. Let me know if that you're still good with that one. You didn't want to change it, I assume.
No, I'm gonna try these out for a while and see how it goes.
Cool. Nazim, I'll put the upgraded one in there for you.
You talked me out of it.
Yeah, if you want to choose a different one, go right ahead. Keep in mind, too, a lot of people just before you choose another one anyways, a lot of people overstack themselves with damage-dealing cantrips when you don't necessarily need two that do the same thing. But in most cases, except for... Which one is it, Becky? The one that you used early on? Well, you still have it, but you used it early on. It's one of the flame ones. It's Firebolt. Yeah, Firebolt. So Firebolt is the kind of regular damage-dealing one. There's no special benefits. Most of the other cantrips, though, have a slightly reduced amount of damage potential, but have a secondary effect. Like Chill Touch, for example, will keep the target from being able to heal until the next round, which can be useful. Ray of Frost will make them move slower, things like that. So it may do a little bit less damage, but has a utility impact that is going to kind of offset that difference. So don't stack up with multiple damage. You can if you want, but you probably would be better chosen not to waste on those when you have something like Eldritch Blast, which is already the best damage dealing cantrip in the game anyway. If you're going to choose another one, probably aim towards one that has a utility choice, but do whatever you want. Just those are just the
Eldritch Blast is the rage for the rage one for warlocks.
Yeah, that might be
because that'll stack over time.
One is it? I don't.
Well, it gets stronger, but it's like. It's easy to hit. You get two of them, you get two of them as your option action, and it's just decent damage. And you can do it from 120 feet away.
Base for Eldritch Blast. He's looking at a different one now, but yeah, he already has Eldritch Blast too. But yeah, it's 120 feet initially, and then there's a bunch of different upgrades you can do with Warlock to make your Eldritch Blast even better.
You know what I don't have? You know what fucking bards don't fucking have? Fire spells. The closest bards have is heat metal at level 2.
Mm-hmm.
But bards sing. They spit hot fire.
I know they spit hot fire.
There you go.
But yeah, nothing. Not
I've been chuckling in the background of Becky's mic.
What 7th level. Yeah, no. There's not a single fire spell on the bard list.
Nice.
And I'm like, fuck. I want to start dropping bombs from my fucking griffin.
Well, dude, okay, come on. All right, but you get fucking. You've had 3 choices now from Magical Secrets, so I mean, you've had 6 spells worth that you could have taken a fire spell if you wanted from any other spell list. So.
Well, you could have taken Produce Flame.
Yeah, I think bards can get that.
Yeah,
Produce Flame is a fire cantrip.
Yeah, but that's a kind of a weak one in my opinion.
Well, compared to
Ouch,
something like
rude.
Sorry,
well,
like,
he gets vicious mockery though. Vicious mockery is another
Vicious Mockery is way better.
a classic.
But I'd have to.
cantrip.
So imagine, like, because what I have to do is I'd have to use as one of the ones that I get to pull from another level, and there's so many better options. So
Yeah, because with those he can take leveled spells too. So it would be taking a cantrip instead of an actual 6th level spell or something like that. All right, so did you pick one, Justin?
lights for my cantrip.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
That's
All right,
cool.
I'll put it on there for you. Cool. All right, so where we left off, let me start that load there. There we go. Where we left off, Nazim is taking a bath in the cheese room. He heard some noise, got up, went out to go look for it. Did not find the source of it, but it sounded... I'll go ahead and tell you too, Sako, I'm sure you gathered this already, but it did sound familiar based on what Norok had described to you. You remember that morning when you guys were still in Omonalora and you were woken up very early. The noise that you heard, that Norok heard, none of the rest of you actually heard it at all, just Norok. But he had described it to you well enough, let's say, that Nazim recognizes that sounds awfully familiar, even though you hadn't heard the noise previous. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I figured that you had gathered, of course, that was the same kind of noise that you heard there, but after getting up out of the bath looking for it, didn't find a source for it, and then you went back. The rest of the party is in the war room talking with Pepperjack and Ozzy. Oh, by the way, Sako, I meant to tell you about this too. Not that it exactly matters, but his name is Pepperjack because his name is actually John, which the nickname for John is Jack. And through his military career before he was a commander, was a sapper, a siege specialist essentially for explosives. So he started, the name became Black Pepperjack. Black pepper as an explosives, black powder. And then that eventually, shortened to Pepperjack at one point. But anyways, that's.
The fact that he only eats grilled cheese sandwiches exclusively has absolutely nothing to do with his name. Just a weird coincidence.
Just coincidence, exactly. All right, so rest of the party in with the commander and Ozzy. You guys had some discussion on what your plans were here out, so go ahead. What are you guys doing?
So how close to the capital will you guys be able to get us if we're going to be moving our way that direction?
Ozzy has just stepped in
behind
you guys. Yeah, Ozzy had just come back in. The closest, into to Pale is where you're intending to go then, right? Because I can't get you into the middle of the Empire. That would be risky, revealing our location and everything.
How close can you get us?
If you're intending to go into Pale, I can get you near Eifelstead. Not in the city proper, but in one of the surrounding villages. In fact, one for your folks seem to be mostly, and she's looking at Sarah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember. We're going to go visit your parents.
Yeah, how close is that?
Half-Hearth is the closest one I know of. And you know, Sarah, that Half-Hearth is the next town over from Dunfield.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be
how
half a day's
far
walk. Half a day's walk.
Okay.
Sarah would know that anyway.
I have a question for you. How right now do you know if the capital's on high alert, or are they thinking this is so far away from them that they're removed from this situation?
We have still communication with people in the Empire, of course, but Mist, the capital itself, is certainly far enough away that they're not. Let's say that the common folk don't realize there's even anything going on here right now.
Do you think that we might show up on their radar? Do you think they might be looking for people from this group to be going there, or are we gonna have to wear disguises, or do you think we'll be all right? Because if we do, we can definitely go traveling, as a traveling performance group, right, guys? We got the strongman. We can have an animal show. You can turn yourself into a giant T-Rex and fight the Griffin. We'll have the crowd cheer on different sides and see who gets the biggest cheers and see who wins. Oh, it'll be great.
While your creative solution is appreciated, it's unfortunately not a functional one. It's less a matter of whether they would recognize you specifically, but rather when the teleportation circle glows and reveals the glyphs that it's coming from, every guard in the city would know. Or most of that empire would know where it's coming from.
If we walk to the capital,
you'll be able to blend in easily there. Although I say that Pepperjack kind of looks up, has to kind of raise his eyes to look up at Norok. Maybe not blend in, but you could certainly at least that at that point, anyways, your idea of a traveling circus would probably be a good one.
We could always just turn him into an animal, like a cow, and walk him through town.
He kind of grins at Norok as if,
Yeah.
Just just a thing. I don't know. Maybe or we can at least make you look smaller. Like we can take a foot off your giant height there, probably.
So we'd only be 7 feet tall.
We'd only be 7 feet tall. Like it might be odd, but well, maybe figure it out.
You thinking this through now?
I feel like we'll be able to
about
find
1 foot maybe not be enough.
something. We could prestidigitate you into something smaller, maybe just a normal person. Switch you into a human form.
Hurry up and sit down, G. You're not getting to actually talk when you have to walk over to your phone and unmute.
Oh, no, I'm here.
So Norok has no response to them talking about turning you into an animal and shit.
Well, I'm used to, they ride me like an animal and all that other stuff anyway, so that's pretty much what I'm for. I was going to say what you guys should do is turn me into a giant baby, and then that won't freak anybody out. So just make me appear like a baby, but don't change my height or anything,
Yeah, just an 8-foot baby that no, we can't carry it. It just walks behind us. I mean, I feel like we keep looping around back to the performance aspect of this. That can be our show. Come see the amazing 8-foot baby.
Yeah.
Guards get in 3. All the guards come to the show, and then we can sneak in where we need to go. Assuming we have to sneak in somewhere.
Ozzy grins. He says, well, your new companion was the kind of lifestyle he led in the past. The traveling entertainment is probably in his wheelhouse as well. Assuming he's going with you, correct?
Yeah, until he does something wrong or scares us and more than he already has.
Of course, I'm with you for quite some time.
You're not here, man. You're in the bath. Go away.
We can hear you from the bathroom.
Forgot to tell you guys, Sako's character is telepathic at like 1 mile or something like that.
Oh, is he really?
He's not. No, he's not. I was just kidding.
I mean, that'd be cool.
It's just speaking in your minds.
He's just like, he just uses a message. What are you guys doing? Go away.
But
So yeah,
I'm gonna ask Ozzy if he recognizes.
let's say
No, I'm just
not
asking Ozzy.
yeah, not as an individual, I don't, but as far as the let's say class of society, yes.
Okay.
What do you mean by that? Like he's just, I don't understand.
He has a certain air about him that from our homeland anyway, and a shared history there, he's a grifter, or at least was.
Oh, a grifter.
Yeah, if you
Alright.
the kind that let's say tourists, stopping off in Al Qadir or one of the port cities might lose a watch to, or lose some money to a 3 Monte Carlo type of game, things like that.
Sure. I mean,
So misdirection and that sort are that.
I would say
that
if you're
class's
going
forte.
to, if you're going to look on the scale of nefariousness, that's pretty low.
Oh, I'm not saying it's nefarious. I'm saying that he'd be a good, entertainer potentially,
Sure.
anyways, for you guys' idea, anyway, of doing the traveling circus,
I mean, if we
especially
have
with
to.
how it looks right now.
I thought maybe there might be a lookout for us and you in the capital, but if there's not, then we can probably just get in a little bit more normally.
I mean, yeah, that kind of ego is probably a little
how-
larger than you deserve at the moment yet, Pogo.
Out of curiosity, do you think me walking my griffin through town is gonna bring some eyebrows?
If you're trying to keep a low profile, that would probably be an awful idea.
All right, we'll have to find a place to stash Peter while we're in town.
I mean, there are aviaries. There are places. Sure, you might see them flying above occasionally, or larger creatures of the sort. But certainly not just in a random commoner's hands. Let's say.
All right. Well, let's see. Anything else? I'm thinking we're gonna go into, because you're not sure about the contact you've had with fuck, I just had her
Clover?
name up.
Pepperjack
Clover.
Clover. Clover.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Clover. So we have a few things we need to do in that area anyways, and so we'd like to at least double check on that situation for you, and anything that will help us, any place that like her last either identity or place you might stay. We don't want to cause any extra trouble for her if we can avoid it, so we don't want to be too obvious about it, but I figured we'd ask. I'm thinking right now, if we just go and maybe try to small talk some guards or some officials, maybe over drinks. We can find out if any other items or any other people have been associating with the king or any strange occurrences have happened. Maybe that'll give us a clue.
It wouldn't hurt, sure, but you're still at the very least 3-4 weeks out from the capital. Even if you set march there immediately, it'll take you a while to get there.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah,
was...
someplace else we have to go after we see my family.
So the here, I'm going to bring up the other map so I can show you guys what I'm referring to here.
Sure.
He can't teleport you to near the capital because all of the teleportation, basically, the place that he's offering to teleport you to is in Pale. It's one of the annexed countries that is just at the edge of the Empire, and you would basically be walking the rest of the way, or get horses, travel of whatever sort you choose.
So hard to figure out travel on D&D maps.
Yeah,
question.
What's that?
What do Yogs normally travel on?
So there's a specific
Bigger
kind.
Yogs.
There's a specific kind of a horse called a jag horse. JHAG, like that. I told Ben about these before.
It sounds like something you just call like some rude, like, you're such a fucking jaguars.
Maybe.
Stop being a jaguars.
Without the horse part, it maybe sounds a little less funny. Originally, when I told Ben about it, I just told him jag, but which actually originally I just got from nag, except these larger. What's that, G?
Stole my bike.
That was not on purpose, but I guess it does sound like that as well. Anyway, the horses though they're similar to horses anyways, but they're very large, creatures able to support them, 6-legged, and they are meat eaters, so they're carnivorous and very angry. But anyways, that's typically what they use for mounts. Fox.
Okay, but would any place near the capital actually have those, or like? Okay,
they're wild, mountainous. They're think of like giant mountain goats, kind of.
We're going all the way to Pale, and we have to go all the way northeast.
Yeah, basically everything in the south there. The only things that I highlighted were the Wuad Plains, Pale, and the Estermark. Those were all kind of border regions that the Empire annexed within the last 50 years or so. And now that they're all they're technically part of the Empire, but not really kind of filtered in just yet. So basically now you would essentially be that where Pale is, the middle part of that is that itty bitty little, like the big city that's at the edge of the bay, kind of. That is Eifelstead, and that's essentially the area that he can teleport you to.
Hey, so I apologize. I misread the map. I must have been a little cross-eyed earlier when we were speaking about this. So yeah, that's really far away from the capital. We might not be able to make it there on this. We might not even be able to go check on Clover. I've got another question, I suppose. If we were to go directly into the capital, or not directly into the capital, but as close to the capital as we can, how many guards do you think would be? How long would we have until we were surrounded by guards?
As far as if we were to try to teleport you directly into the capital itself?
Oh, maybe not. Like, you would know better than me, perhaps, but somewhere, within walking distance, maybe a day or two of the actual capital city, that would have, a guard presence, but maybe not necessarily as dangerous as going directly into the capital. You don't want to go directly into the capital, but outside the capital, maybe we'd be able to flee or get away before we were captured, or are they monitored 24/7 by a group of, the guards there?
Well, okay, so I see you're a little new, maybe, to how teleportation circles work, Pogo. You would already be surrounded when you teleport in. They're in structures to keep them from being destroyed by the elements, and when they're inside of a building that is already surrounded by guards, like the constabulary protects them at any place. They're
Yeah, but I mean, how many guards do you really have to knock unconscious before you get out of there? Give me a number.
It would vary from one place to the next. I don't know.
We can knock a few out. We can set up some of that crazy foot stabby stuff that she can do, so they can't get through. And maybe we can fly away on the broom, and Norak can jump out the window. I suppose, perhaps. Not a lot of options there with him.
Go ahead, Sarah.
We're gonna be in a building surrounded by people the second we appear.
Christ,
and in
that
the
doesn't
middle
sound
of
half as
cities
bad.
and so on.
Remember that
Think
one
of it-
time we appeared and we were surrounded by man-wolves? We've already done this. Just another option. I'm just saying.
Narratively, Justin, out of narrative for a moment, but the I guess corollary to think of them would be similar to flying into an airport in a country where you don't have a passport. You know, like the airport is going to be full of people that are not going to really just let you go, if that makes sense. Now, you know, if you're trying to kill people on your way out, who knows? But you know, that might be troublesome as far as one, you're killing, you know, presumably
The
innocent
trick
citizens.
is we lower their life, and then I cast sleep, and then we just walk right the fuck
We
over.
lower their bar because everybody you're talking to is a little floating health bar above their head.
Yeah.
But we're trying to keep
all
a
right.
low profile.
Well, here's the thing: if you go in, I mean, I'm just wondering. I'm just asking questions. It's not. We don't have to do it. It's fine. Just asking questions.
Or we could put Pogo in a dynamite vest.
Yeah, but
And he
we
can
also
threaten people over the if they don't let us out.
I've got
Suicide
this.
bomber program.
Don't come close, and you guys just escape out the back, and I'm just gonna hold them there, and then I'll
And then
get
just all hot dogs
invisible,
saved together.
and then I'll jump on Peter, and we'll fly away to safety, and then I'll drop the vest, and then when it gets to the ground, they realize it was hot dogs the entire time.
So it was literally like the plastic packages of like Oscar Mayer where they're still just lined up and everything.
Just a bunch of sausages tied up with some wire.
We're trying not to create any further distance between ourselves and the Empire. You know, all of my men here and I would certainly like to return home at some point, and creating an international incident was probably not the way to do that.
That's fair. That's fair.
And we were gonna bury Obo on the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
we
No,
do.
Yes.
because I was
Sure,
thinking
that
we still had the ability to come back here and move back and forth. I'm trying to get my ducks in a row so we have kind of a different options. You know, find out exactly where we stand with the. You know, we want to make sure if. You know, maybe Clover could get out, but it doesn't seem like we'll be able to do it right now.
Well, so we have some time here either way, and you know, who knows? Maybe we'll have found whatever relics that the Vabians are looking for, and you know, appeased enough relations here that the Empire or Emperor rather will forgive our discrepancies, and we can teleport you straight back into the capital. Who knows? You know, Clover may be on her way back before then too. We still have time.
Serafina, do you know in the village, the area you grew up? Do you know if they can make? You know, I want to get some. You know, do they have like shops and things? Like, is it a big enough village that we would be able to buy some necessities?
Dunfield,
Or
is
maybe
not.
they have them-
Dunfield's a small farming community, but Eifelstead, the city, is.
So that's
So-
only a day or two outside that.
It's not even that. So, so the place that he can teleport you to is called Half Hearth, and that is a halfling village. Basically, think capital city, and then the capital city has a big wall, and they don't let the halflings live inside. So the halflings have a bunch of farming communities outside of the city, and two of those are Half Hearth, which is where he can teleport you.
Does Pogo recognize the names of these cities
Yes.
or towns?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I would say that Pogo has been to Eifelstead, the capital, before.
Does Pogo recognize the names and anything that he may have done in those towns?
Let's just say that you probably, based on the backstory that you gave me, you probably don't have too much notoriety. Let's say there, not
Okay.
anything worrisome. Now you've almost
right.
certainly, you know, jumped out of a few second-story windows after, you know, a noblewoman's husband came home, things like
Okay.
that. But not enough
nothing
to
that would
necessarily.
nothing that would last the tell of time.
Yeah,
like-
no, you don't have bounty posters up or anything like that. Let's say.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. I love those places. They're all fantastic.
Great. Bad feeling.
I don't remember if Pogo had asked about it, but when you guys got back to the Crow Fort there and went to the Kettle Keep, Bert was not there.
No, he'd already left. I gave him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I didn't remember. I didn't know if you remembered, anyways, that Bert
you're
had
good,
left
man.
already. So all right.
I know my character.
All right.
But you
so
guys, you don't have to decide right at the moment. I mean, this is really just trying to give you guys some much deserved rest and relaxation. So you know, don't worry about trying to rescue Clover or anything of that sort. Just take care of your business, whatever else you may need, and then hopefully when the time comes for Maibi, that you guys will be willing to follow with whatever plan she might have for heading into the Empire or into Vabi rather.
No, that sounds fantastic. I mean, while we're speaking, I might as well ask: is there anything that you need from that we might be able to pick up for you that would help with the situation here?
We're still kind of devising that. I mean, nothing at the moment, unless you happen to hear rumor of where these relics might be. I mean, we're doing our best to trying to dig, as I'm sure you've seen, thinking that they may still be in the ground somewhere, but thus far have come up empty-handed.
All right. Well, if we see anything that we think might be helpful to this situation, we'll hopefully maybe bring something back. So we're always willing to help.
Then at the very, I mean, if you guys are ready to go this evening, I can send you over. I've got I need to get a rest in, and then I can send you afterwards if you'd like, or within the next day or two, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just let me know when you guys are ready to go, and I'll prepare the teleportation ritual.
I think we're probably going to sleep one evening. Is that right?
Yeah. At least
Ideally, you would probably, I would suggest anyways, that you may want to go at night, just to avoid any potential eyes that may be friendly to the Empire. There's a lot of vitriol in the border countries there. So it's something, a place like Pale, odds are good that the person that's watching the teleportation circles may not be all that friendly to the Empire and too concerned with the place that you came from. But easier if it's at night anyway.
All right. What time is it right now?
A little afternoon.
Okay.
We could do it tomorrow night then.
No, why don't we just
Pale?
2 hours before that, so 10 a.m.
You have time zones?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Man, you're way better than me at DMing this shit.
I've told you time zones lots of times. So every time that you guys were in Gwynsare, which is 3 time zones west of you guys now.
I
So imagine
definitely
East Coast versus West Coast.
have not paid attention. Oh, that's right, because every time
she wakes him up. Yes, yeah, because Sarah does it in the evening and wakes him up in the middle of the night every time. That's why he's being groggy and annoyed, is because he's it's fucking midnight for him or 1 a.m.
I just thought Ozzy had narcolepsy or something.
It's not that complicated. You look at a map and you just kind of draw some horizontal lines on it occasionally, or vertical lines rather.
Well, they're not always straight lines though. Sometimes they're kind of crooked.
Yeah, they don't have to be perfect anyways. I mean, it's not like anybody has a clock that they can compare the times on, or they're not flying back and forth typically. So it doesn't need to be too precise, but that's exactly it. Yeah, Fox,
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing here. Yeah. Okay.
So they're 2 hours behind, right?
Eifelstead is, yeah.
Okay, we could always leave tomorrow night. I could go on a hunting trip to provide a bit more food.
I'll tell you, actually, that food is far more plentiful there than it is here. In the borderlands...
No, I meant provide food for the people that are stuck here, because, I know there's stores, but that's going to run out eventually,
Yeah.
You're
I
gonna
mean,
try,
even
you're gonna try to go outside. You're going to try to go outside in this fucking shit down snow with the other army occupying, and you're going to try to hunt?
Well, why not?
I mean, you can. I think it's just a terrible idea, but...
Well, I'll tell you.
I've done it before.
I'll tell you, Lady Arteme, that while that is certainly appreciated, the resources we've been spending specifically, we haven't sent any more people home, as you've seen. We have been using the teleportation circles to bring supplies in. So
okay.
We're okay at the moment, but certainly appreciated, of course. We still have friends in the edges of the Empire anyway.
Good.
Okay, well, we could still, rest up and leave tomorrow night. I want to check back on my AB, see how she's progressing before we go.
No, that's fine. We can get a good night's sleep tonight. We can relax tomorrow and do some things we have to do maybe around here. And then go maybe early in the evening. Make sure that's okay with our new associate.
Yeah. That sounds good.
What do you say, Norok?
Sounds good to me.
Ah, he's such a chatterbox. Never get this guy to shut up this one.
Yeah. Big talker.
I would say Norok probably realized. So Ben, you can say yes or no, but the cultural impact of bearing Obo's bones is probably starting to weigh heavy on him, knowing that you guys will be doing that soon.
Okay.
So whether he's expressing this or not, he might be a little bit dour at the moment.
Yeah, no one has to.
go back and face everybody, you know?
Yeah, but he's not really talkative to begin with.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You may not be able to tell the difference.
I go from brooding to brooding, so you can't really tell.
There you go.
Did we ever get the Minotaurs, the Minotaurs? Did they get their leader buried okay? I don't even remember.
Yeah, we had the funerary procession for a start last week.
All right. Are they
We still haven't found.
roaming around?
You probably haven't seen any actually. It was just when you guys were outside, you probably didn't see any. But Ozzy says we still have a few, not many. Most of them have left already. We're still trying to acquire the funds to pay for the contract. A little harder to do when we don't have the Empire's wallet to pay for it.
How much are the funds to get the Minotaur to help you out?
It's Mio Tau, by the way, and it was 80,000 gold.
Gah! I mean, that seems reasonable. Do you still have your blacksmith? Is he?
If it weren't for them, you all would have died on. Ozzy saying this, you all would have died on Sodden Field.
Sure.
So it was
Same.
worth every crown.
80,000 will buy a lot of other people that could help.
Well, they're mercenaries.
Did they take Nadir with them? Nadir was the one that was still alive, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the one of the triplets, the one that was still alive.
That kid's going to need so much therapy.
Pepperjack's head kind of hangs low. Then he just nods a little bit. He was hit pretty hard, obviously, by Nebish's death.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll happen. Ugh, I don't even like thinking about that. I need a beer. Anyone else have anything important they need to speak of?
Nope, let's go drink.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
Ozzy chuckles. I mean, it's noon. I mean, that's close enough. You guys have earned it anyways.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, let's do the time zone thing. Where's it 5 o'clock?
Sure.
Oh
like
my
on the
gosh.
opposite side of the world.
I'm gonna go check on my AB.
I'm sure
Okay.
in the ever dark it's like 5 o'clock or somewhere, something like that.
You know what? Maybe we should go get Nazim and bring him drinking.
Yeah, we need to go get Nazim. We need to at least fill him in on the basics of what we're up to here going forward.
All right. Well, keep safe, everybody, and let me know when you're ready. We'll get you back home or wherever it is you're heading.
If you need anything else, remember, when we're gone, you can always use these. I'm going to hold up my little crystal.
Your Rocky Talkie.
Talking stone, my Rocky Talkie.
Yep.
Yeah.
He looks at you and then he looks at Sarah and says, "Yeah, I'm fully aware that you guys have those."
I'm sorry. I forgot about the time difference.
He just chuckles.
Wanted to let you know what was going on.
If it makes you feel any better, very likely you were having a much better time here than we were wherever we were talking to
Oh,
you.
I
through
don't
the
doubt.
things.
I don't doubt. She filled me in on what you guys were all doing, and I'm glad I was sleeping in a warm bed at the time, even if it's freezing cold outside.
I was wet and sweat the entire time. You ever have a dream where you think you pee yourself but you're just sweating? Constant.
All right, you guys heading back to the Kettle Keep then?
Yep.
All right, you make your way back across the courtyard. You do see that when you head back out, Strings is not the only soldier sitting there. There's another crowblinder sitting there with him. They're just chalking, sitting on the. Well, he has stood back up since, but where that crate of munitions was. You make your way back to the entrance of the Kettle Keep. Your Griffin, Pogo, does it just stay until you dismiss it? Does it have a duration that it,
Oh no, it stays. It's a thing. Like it has no until it dies.
So when it wouldn't create another one.
No, I can only create one.
Yeah, but I mean,
but it
if
just
you say you summon it, you're far enough away. Does it fly to you, or does it just despawn from where it was?
No, it just stays there. I can control it telepathically from a mile, but I think other than that, it just stays wherever the fuck it is.
Appearing in unoccupied space within range. I guess it's just a spirit, so I guess it would. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Cool.
Things out.
All right, then he is still just hanging out in the middle of the courtyard. Arteme, you notice that as soon as you walk in, he had been facing the door, but as soon as you've walked in through it, he starts to kind of shuffle in the snow, turn around until his butt's facing you.
I'm gonna telepathically tell him that he doesn't have to do that anymore.
And then this time he
And
just
I'm
doesn't
gonna-
move. As Automate walks by, he just sits where he had been. Kind of looks like he's leaning over trying to
Telepathically,
sleep.
I'm gonna just tell him to make sure to be friendly with all of our associates, unless they are attacking us. Just be friendly with the people.
Is that a safety clause in case Nazim turns out to be
General-
evil or something?
Yep, general. Unless someone's attacking us, wait for their command, but otherwise be very friendly.
All right. Then you guys make your way back in, though. Place is pretty quiet. You actually, with the noise of the blizzard, you probably wouldn't even hear Abraham. But the kettle keep seems otherwise empty. As you'd left it. Nazim, you do hear people moving upstairs.
Where are you, Nazim?
All right. Well, I will get out of my cheese bath and join the group.
Okay. All right. Then everybody back together. Then Nazim, you catch them coming upstairs. So I would say that you guys just all kind of gather up in the mess hall. Then, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go up to my tower and start working on the leather stuff, and then once that's all set up
You gonna
to,
join us for a drink when you're done going away, walking away? Now, as I said.
I'm gonna go check on my AB after.
Okay. Maeve's back in the Crow Fort. She's up at the infirmary at the top of the Crow Fort.
Yeah, but once I lay out the leather to dry off and whatever, I can't do anything with it for a few hours, so I might as well go check on the wounded.
Sure. You don't have a tannery in the Kettle Keep, and putting it outside when it's this cold and snowy is just going to freeze.
I'd put it in one of the tower rooms.
Okay.
I'd just
you're
put it
gonna
on
set
racks.
out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
that's
just
fine.
gonna set them up on racks.
Okay. All right. Then you set them out to dry. It'll take quite a while, of course, for them to dry this way, but they will. They're in a warm enough place to slowly dry at least.
I could always light a fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
matter.
There's enough warmth in the place to kind of do it with ambient temperature, as long as there's fire in the room. Let's say.
Yeah, I'll just
which-
light the hearth in the room with the produce flame. Just throw it at them.
All right, that done. Then what are you guys doing?
Nazim, where are you? Did he come up? Do I see you, Nazim?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you are.
He came with
Jesus
me, yo.
Christ. You can't sneak up on people like that, Nazim. Gonna give me a heart attack.
We should go drinking. Sarah's cleaning herself off with prestidigitation as she says this.
Well, let's at least let him know what our plans are and make sure he wants to participate. So we're going
we
to.
can do that while we drink.
Sure. Wow, you are just ready to go.
Yeah, we should go.
Starting to freak me out. I mean, I like it. It's throwing me off, but I very much enjoy it. Let's go grab a drink then. Nazim, do you drink? I feel like you didn't really want to drink that. What was it? 100,000-year-old wine aged to perfection.
Oh, for now, I'm just sticking with bland foods and bland drinks, but my palate will improve shortly, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can get you some hot water with lemon, I suppose.
All right, you guys heading out to the crow's nest then?
Yeah, I'm going to join you in a moment. I'll be literally there in just 5 minutes, and I'm going to cut off to see if there's anyone in the smithery, or does this would I have known if this place has something that's more of a stable, someone who works with leather worker stable, or would it all just be in the same spot with the smithery?
So the Warforge, essentially a place for regular blacksmithing for repairing armor, things like that. That is where Doros is, who's the Miotau, or well, at least last you had seen. Yeah, the Miotau who had made Artemis armor and all that stuff.
Sure.
But there isn't an actual tannery. They don't. There's for repairing leather, but not for creating things out of leather.
Sure. I'm going to go to him, and then I have some things I want to talk to him about. But I'll catch up with you guys in a few minutes. I'll just be at the smithery asking them a few questions.
It's actually on the way anyway, so they're right next to each other.
Well, I'm going to go over
So
here
handily
if anyone...
I mean, just in the map of the Crow Fort, the Crow's Nest is in the northwest, and the forge is just west of that, so right next to it, real close.
I'm gonna go see if he can make, or more likely, modify. Like, I'm basically gonna go see if he can modify a saddle. I want some strap down so I don't fall off my new friend when I'm riding him around.
Okay, so you make your way over there then.
I was telling that to the group.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, just letting them. Unless any of you can do that, I don't think anyone here can do that, right?
Nope, I'll see you at the crow's nest. There's
All
going.
right, fantastic.
Sarah's a one-track mind at 12:15 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yep.
Then you make your way over there, kind of, the majority of the way, and then split off, heading to the left a little bit to go over to the forge. Inside, it is a somewhat open air place. There's kind of these half walls with some wide open arches in the middle to allow enough heat and everything to escape the place. And you step in, it is immediately just a thick wall of heat. It is mostly Crowblinder staffing the place because you recognize many of the faces in there. But you do, behind a very large forge, see Doros in there, and there's another Miotau off to the side that you saw talking to Norok a few times, but you don't know his name. But Doros is the master smith that is behind the forge at the moment. He kind of grunts at you when you come up towards him. He doesn't stop.
It's your favorite half man here. Remember when you rubbed my hair with the stuff? It was hilarious. I loved it. Anyways,
that was a different Miotau, but it's fine.
Just kidding. You don't all look alike to me.
Okay, we'll play it off as that. You're just a racist.
I was just wondering. This is going to sound a bit strange, but we've added a new member to our little group. And it's a griffin, and it's very friendly, and we were going to see if we could fly around on him, but I need a saddle, something that'll hopefully fit someone either of normal size or a little bit smaller like me that I can attach to the griffin, and so that if I do use it as a flying utility, I don't fall off terribly. Do you have that expertise, or does someone here have the ability to modify a saddle?
He squints at you a little bit and then kind of leans over because like I said, he's kind of halfway behind the forge for you. Kind of leans over and then just kind of eyes you up and down like he's trying to figure out how that would work. And then he grunts for a moment. And he says,
"I'm gonna do a spin for him. Put my arms above my head and do a little dancey spin,
a little pirouette." He says, "Why don't you just tie yourself down with ropes?"
I mean, that's nice, but this is going to be more of a permanent thing. If it's got to be quick, I don't have time to. Honestly, it's very hard for me to even wrap a rope around it on my own little frame. So I'm thinking if I have it on there, maybe with a little step, like a leather, a boot strap, like some sort of leather strap I can step on to help myself get up onto it. It's harder for me. Like, look at you. You're a magnificent beast, just this beautiful creature. And I'm just this tiny little fucking thing. Person.
We may pay extra if it's an embarrassing fanny pack as well.
God, you're here! God, every time.
Apparently Nazim floated in behind you without you hearing him because he didn't trudge through the snow floating over it.
Don't mind him, he's fine.
Nazim is in the forge then peering over your shoulder. You see Nazim, then you see this very large minotaur.
I've got 15 gold for a saddle. That's not too bad. It doesn't have to be heavy duty, not armor, just a saddle. It could be like a lightweight saddle, something I can strap my legs in and just help me get on top of a griffin.
I'll need to see the griffin at the very least. I can maybe adapt.
I'm gonna telepathically have him come. Would he fit through the doorway?
No.
All right, I'm just gonna have him fly up and kind of land outside the door and stick his big fucking head in.
All right, you let him know to do that, and you hear Peter acknowledge. You can't hear him in the distance, of course, but you hear him acknowledge telepathically. And Doro's still looking at you. May be able to adapt a horse saddle, although as small as you are, you're going to need to tie yourself on one way or another, because trying to get up that high with those weak little arms, you're not going to be able to hold on.
I know, so just like some little straps for my legs, and I'll tie it. Like if it's just the rope that's more built, I need some. I have very much faith in you that you can develop some sort of mechanism on my legs. I can just maybe stitch it together real tight, and then it'll be fine. But if I got to try to retie things every single time I get on and off, there's got to be just a slightly faster way. I have faith that you could pull that off, right? Even if
as you say that, you hear the splashdown of the griffin landing in the snow behind you. Looking out over your shoulder, you see him. Doros kind of peers over top of your head. We eat those where I'm from, right?
I know. I've heard they're delicious.
Oh.
But this one I can ride.
I haven't had one in a while.
Well, don't eat this one. I'm going to give you
He
15
does look
gold to
alright.
not eat this one.
I'll see what I can do. Is he friendly enough that I can, do some measurements, take some rope?
He should be fine, and I'm going to telepathically tell him to treat him as a friend and just kind of follow his commands of getting measured and stuff. So he'll be fine.
I'll do what I can.
He's very, very well tamed.
All right. I'll see what I can get done. If it's just a matter of adapting a regular saddle and you're good with that, I can probably get it done this afternoon, maybe tomorrow.
Perfect. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. And
He just snorts. Nazim, this entire time, this is a gargantuan minotaur behind a forge that is about Norok's height, actually, so similar in frame and size, except for the horns that are sticking straight out of both sides of his head that are past the width of his shoulders. So a pretty intimidating sight, but certainly in front of Pogo, anyways. But he seems friendly enough, anyways.
I was wondering about the scale of the room.
So what you're standing is not really a room. It is there are some kind of parts of walls with a tent over top of it, with holes in certain places for chimneys to go up through it for forges. But basically, it's like a temporary temporary building kind of, where you just put a tent over top of it for a forge like this. Yeah. So it's still it would be cold except for the blaring heat from all the forges. But there's enough room for his height, anyways. So anything else?
That was it. That was it, my friend. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'll be going. Leave you to your work.
I'll once I finish it, I'll leave it with your caretaker at the kettle to keep.
Sure. I mean, you could also just strap it right on. It's up to you. Whatever's easier.
I might end up taking a bite of one of them wings if I did that. Probably better to just leave it there.
You need me to get you some food? Do you need me to go somewhere and grab you something to eat?
I'll have lunch here before long, but that griffin does look pretty tasty.
Yes,
Isn't the griffin like a spirit animal though, so you can't eat it anyway? Because if it doesn't need to eat, then it's not edible.
But he doesn't know that, so
Pogo should probably just tell him.
Yeah, it's technically not like a real one. It's more like a spirit animal.
you hear him
weird
groan.
magical things.
You hear him groan like frustratedly and dismissively. He clearly, well, as you guys knew, well, Pogo wasn't there in Morvok, but the culture there doesn't think much of magics. So
Yeah, it's weird. I understand. Appreciate it, and I'm just gonna leave before I get myself in any more trouble.
Nora, Nazim, you floating after him?
Yeah.
All right. Then you guys leaving the forge, taking a left. You guys are right outside of the crow's nest. I've already moved everybody over to the map, so you guys are welcome to. Whoa, Nazim is flipping out.
Whoa.
Are you doing that on purpose?
No, my hands are off the keyboard.
Click your token, and then hit like the up arrow. Hold shift and hit the up arrow.
Dude, he's jamming.
He is.
He's fucking feeling
Here,
it.
I'll do it for you. No, it's not letting me do it either. I can move you, but not stop you from spinning out. Here, I'll
That's
play this.
hilarious.
This is part of my psychological warfare.
Yeah.
To mess with you. I just
This
violently
is Nazim's
vibrate.
dance. There you go. I think it's a scanner darkly. One of the
there
those
it goes.
types of. I just refreshed it, so you guys might see it here in a second. There we go. Should be back
That's
to normal
my
now.
dance macabre.
All right. Okay. So what are you guys doing?
Drinking.
At the bar?
Yes.
All right. You step in then. You don't recognize the guy behind the counter there, but he kind of just waves to you as you guys are walking through and kind of waves you inside. You guys have all been into the common room before, at least. So, yeah, that's the dance I was thinking of. Yeah. Works especially well because it's just looped back and forth like that.
I went to go see my EB though, so I'm not actually at the tavern.
Okay. All right, I'll pull you off then, Fox. It's only been, at this point, probably maybe hour and a half, 2 hours or so since you left her. So she's not, you get there, you see Asher. Oops. There you go. You see Asher up at the top. You notice that the room is about maybe half or so occupied as it had been previously, with wounded soldiers. So between you and Norok had managed to, alleviate enough wounds that they were able to leave and return to duty. But you do see Asher there. He kind of smiles and waves you over. What is it that I can do for you, Lady Arteme?
Oh, right. I want to know if you had any, like, spare books I could copy over or look over to try and learn a bit more of non-magical medicine. And I was just gonna check up on, like, the injured.
I'm afraid I don't personally. I mean, we do have, of course, back in the library, but not here, at least. You might check with the commander, or really with any of the lieutenants for that matter, or just check in the library.
Sure, thanks. So I'll check up on the injured and then go to the library.
Sure. All right. Then those that you have left are still in about the same condition, of course, and nobody's really changed much, including my Evie. She's still resting. She seems to be asleep, but not in a coma anymore, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Progress
can I
there.
help any more of them with, like, less restoration or anything?
You don't get the feeling that it would make much difference from here. Like, basically, it was only, an hour and a half ago or so when you did that, and like I said, a lot of them are already out that you managed to help with. But yeah, the most of the ones that remain are still, going to take time.
Okay, so I'll just head off to the library then.
Okay. Then Arteme still in the Crow Fort, heading, moving around in the Crow Fort anyways. What's the rest of the group doing?
I am going to go ahead.
Oh no, Sarah's just gonna get the strongest drink she can and go find an empty table.
Okay. All right. Then
Are you okay, Sarah? What is it? You seem, is there something troubling you?
You're not even there yet.
I'm not even there yet. That's right. My bad.
Well, okay. If Sarah went in first, yeah. If Sarah and Norok were ahead of you guys, then they could have been.
She's on a fucking mission, so yeah.
The lady attending bar is one of the quartermaster's helpers. Her name is Haley. You recognize her just from being around camp when you guys were making your way here and everything. But she hands you the stiffest thing that she at least has behind the bar there, and you make your way over to a table by yourself. The common room is pretty empty. There's only a handful of soldiers still in there, and they're on the other side, mostly together.
Just gonna sit down and start slowly sipping on my drink.
Okay. What's Norok doing, G?
Gonna get the biggest ale that they have, and then some food if they have any.
You see Sarah talking with Haley for a moment. She's handed a drink. You see Sarah walking off. You walk up to her afterwards, asking for the largest drink, and her eyes kind of squint a little bit. She says, "I mean, I can get a bucket, but I don't know. I mean, they're all about this size." And she just holds up a regular mug. We don't get too many of you in here.
All right, well then, can you give me like maybe 4 or 5 of those drinks? And then I'll just, after she does, I'm just going to take them, just like with my hands and squish them together, like all,
like Oktoberfest?
Like yeah, and then pick them up and carry them over to the table where Sarah's at, and ask if I can sit with her or if she wants to be alone.
Oh, you're fine. Have a seat. Let's
All
drink.
right, I'm going to sit down then.
Okay.
And, 1 drink of each is probably, an entire beer for me. So start working on this.
All right. Then, with a loud clanking of glass, Norok sits down with his 4 mugs at your table. Then, about that time, though, Pogo and Nazim would be arriving through the front door. What are you guys doing?
Well,
Wave them over.
Nazim, I'm gonna go grab myself a ale. Do you want some maybe hot water with lemon or some honey, something like that?
I'll make my way to the bar and I'll order some water. And,
just so you know, people are gonna look at you weird when you're floating. Do you want to not float around? You don't. I mean, I don't tell you how to live your life, but people are gonna start giving you stares.
No, perfectly fine.
Right.
I just float over to the bar, order water, and whatever's within arm's reach, bread, pretzels, whatever the basic.
There isn't any food
snack
sitting on the
is.
counter, and the barkeep, it's a young woman, reddish hair, stares at you kind of oddly, and then looks over at the table where you see Sarah and Norok sitting, and then looks back at you and just kind of there's a very subtle shrug, and then she grabs a mug and goes over to fill it with some water.
I have
Could you
so many. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I have so many.
I was gonna say, could I order just some small, bland type food? Pretzels, peanuts, bread, whatever you have that's bland.
I mean, you can find probably a hunk of bread over, and she kind of points, and there's a behind her in the northwest part on the table there is a table where there's breads and cheeses and things like that all on it. You can take some of that.
All right, I'll just grab a chunk of that.
If I may, just I don't mean to be rude, but like just don't touch it all. Like just touch the parts you're going to eat. Would that be okay? I don't want to offend.
I will touch the parts that need to be touched.
What justifies, what dictates what needs to be touched when it comes to food?
My urge to touch them.
You see, like, just the subtlest shiver, like she's really uncomfortable.
Don't worry, his hands are clean. He just took a bath.
In cheese.
It was a cheese room. Don't make it weird. He had a bath in a cheese room. He's making it sound stranger than it is. He's fine. He's harmless.
Yeah, nothing strange about taking a bath in a cheese room for sure.
I'll just wink and point at her as I walk away to the bread.
All right. All right. How about Pogo?
Sorry.
She kind of as you
strange.
approach and Nazim is not looking directly at her anymore. She like she kind of visibly shivers, like that was a really awkward, creepy conversation for her.
Yeah, we're sharing a house with him right now. It's a bit strange over on the little keep. It should be interesting. I'm gonna lock my doors just in case.
I don't know that would even help. He just has
I don't know.
like a feeling about him. I think it's and she holds her hand over her face and kind of drags it down a little bit. I think it's this thing.
Oh yeah, his head. I understand.
Yeah. Anyways,
So,
what can I get for you?
I would like an ale, and so what I was saying earlier, I have all these names in my stupid notes. I do not have the name of the girl that I slept with in the cheese bathroom.
Hang on, let me find her again.
What was her name? But basically, I'm gonna look around to see if she is there.
She's not. There's only 5 soldiers
Okay.
in the room. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Then I probably would have seen it if it was one of the 5.
Her name.
Then I will have, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm looking through my list of all of them right now.
So I would like a nice strong ale and a little slow. Why is there only 5 people? Is everyone else out digging?
You know what time it is, right?
What is it, like 10?
It's 12, maybe 30 at the most right now. Still pretty early.
Oh, it's 12:30. It's lunchtime. In that
Well-
case, I will also go have some bread and cheese from the bread cheese as I look and see he's just like poking random fucking cheese.
Yeah, they don't usually have food prepared during during lunch. It's basically just grab what you get, rations and stuff.
That's fine. Nice one. Oh, anything new on your side? Anything of imports? We just got back from a bit of a small mission to try to help some people, but anything that we might have missed?
No,
Perhaps
it's mostly
things-
been dig and dig and dig. The men come in every day covered in dirt. The women too.
Sure. That's a bit of a unpleasant daily chore, I suppose.
We're just glad that the fighting is mostly stopped for the moment, at least.
I'm talking to the cute girl bartender, right?
Yeah, Haley.
So I heard a rumor about you and I think it was Pepperjack. Is there anything to that?
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You're a
All right,
liar.
all right.
You've
I was
got a
gonna smile a little
reputation.
bit. What is
You've
she?
got a
What is she?
reputation, Gleam, and no one's going to believe you anyway.
What is her face? I'm gonna do an insight
Go
check
ahead,
on
yeah.
her.
Oh, it was a reroll.
wait.
Oh shit, dude!
I will turn the tables.
That might be the only time I've ever seen that before. All right, so if you guys don't understand what you just saw, he has a feature. This is for Sako too, as a halfling that anytime he rolls a natural 1, he gets to automatically re-roll it. He can just roll it again, basically. Basically. So, anyways, he rolled a natural 1, got the automatic re-roll, and it was a natural 20. That literally might be the only time I've ever seen that before. She's chuckling. She thinks it's funny. She knows that you're just making a joke or just trying to get under her skin, and she's just laughing about it. She knows that it's not true and that nobody would believe it anyways, but she thought it was funny.
I
can't find that fucking name.
It's okay.
I have
Just make one up. Make one up right now.
No, because I gotta have consistency. It's important.
I thought I had it written down, but I don't have it in my notes either.
I had like
Is
if I
it-
could remember
is it
any of the three of them
pee-poo?
off the top of my head, it was
It's not
pee-poo.
pee-poo,
God
right?
damn it!
Okay.
Justin wants to make one of his little guy's names for
Game.
his drinking game, Pee-poo, which is the stupidest fucking name. It's so stupid, but he loves it.
Pee-poo, like the song?
What's that go?
Oh, I was about to say
There's a
pee-poo,
song?
like the song?
Is there a song?
No.
Oh, I found it. It was Syrah.
Okay.
Sira.
Sierra.
Yep.
Thank you.
And the others were
All right.
Andron and Solomon.
I'm gonna go have a drink with my friends.
All right.
some bread
Then
and
you make your
cheese.
way over to the table. Nazim, did you float back over to where they were all sitting?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the group of you have to pull a chair over, but the four of you then are gathered around the table with your drinks and stale bread and cheese. Who am I missing? Where's Nazim?
I'm chugging my drink. I'm gonna chug my ale. But before I do, I'm saying Norak, chugging contest. Let's go. Chug with me.
I'll wait until he's like 75% done, and then I'll just drink mine faster. Because like I'll still be done before him, so I'm seriously gonna let him think he's gonna win for a second. Then I'm just gonna slam him.
Ah, I mean, it's basically the size of like your nipples, so that kind of makes sense, I suppose.
All right, then you guys gathering around drinking. Arteme then in the library. We'll jump over to Arteme real quick. In the library, it's quiet. There doesn't appear to be anyone in here. You do know that Ozzy does spend quite a bit of time in here, but he's not here currently. As far as you know, he's still over with the commander. All right, Justin. But anyways, it's a wide library. Obviously, shelves a little bit above your height, but still reachable for you, that are just full of books the entire way through. It's not huge, but it's stacked with probably, there's probably a couple thousand books at least in here.
Okay, I'll go look for the medical books and start reading through some of them.
Sure. All right. You pretty quickly find what is, if it were a regular library, it would probably be an overly large section on kind of standard medicine, let's say, non-ethereal, non-magical medicine, surgery, and so on, and larger, presumably because, of course, they need to occasionally study up on this kind of thing with the facility that's in. But gather a book. There's plenty of chairs and things around you to sit down comfortably and start reading.
Okay.
Are you going to do anything during that duration, or are you just going to be reading for a while?
I'll be reading for a while.
Okay. All right. And we'll jump back to the main group. What are you guys doing? The rest of the group, rather.
Sarah is gonna pull out the scroll and just see if there's a new response before she gets too drunk.
Okay. Then you take out the scroll case, unwind the end of it. Pulling, you don't need to even unroll the scroll. You can actually just kind of pull it out just slightly, still rolled up. There doesn't appear to be any new writing on it.
Great, she's gonna put it away and just continue to drink.
Okay. Are you guys doing anything? Do you have any plans or anything to do for the day? Then you guys just going to drink and relax until evening or whatever?
Nope, Sarah's gonna get drunk.
Okay.
I'll just keep consuming some bread and water. And
Oh, are you sitting by yourself,
blasphemous-
Nazim? Are you not sitting with the group?
I was right here, but then I moved over to the group.
I moved you
But,
over to the
break
table
away.
where the group is. But if you're not sitting with the group, then you can go and move yourself wherever you were. I thought you were.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be over here quietly playing some blasphemous music to myself.
What is
strumming the lute?
What does blasphemous music sound like? It's not like we would have parental advisory stickers or anything. So
Back.
It's probably just private, quiet, frowned upon music.
okay.
Just quietly to myself.
All right, then you occasionally getting looks from the Crowblinders, the soldiers, and so on as you play this awkward and discordant music that is not melodic and sounds terrible to everyone's ears, but apparently yours.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you playing that?
Just playing some tunes.
I feel like you could do better than that.
This calms me.
I would say probably grates on everybody else's nerves, but it apparently is calming for Nazim.
I'm gonna go start dancing to his music up on the stage.
Has he had enough to drink?
He doesn't care. Doing it anyway.
All right.
No, he hasn't. So
I'm
it's
gonna
going to be
clap
even more
along.
awkward.
I'm gonna stand up on the table and clap along and just go, ah! Check them out.
Haley
So
shouts at
great.
you. Haley shouts at you. Off the table, Gleeman.
All right, all right.
People need to eat off of that. We don't want your feet on it.
So, Sarah, I notice you're, Serafina, you're drinking a bit heavy today. What's that? What's up going on?
Good. Just feel like drinking. Everything's good. We're good.
You know, you could tell us, right? I mean, we've pretty much faced certain death half a dozen times. Or are you not supposed to say? Is it something that a secret of someone else's that you're supposed to not tell us?
No, we're good. I might I'm assuming we're gonna do some shopping tomorrow once we get into town. Maybe I'll tell you on the way to going to see my family.
Oh, is that what it is? Are you nervous about seeing your family?
It's complicated.
I mean, families are so complicated sometimes.
It's fine.
Oh. Do you want to hear about my family? Maybe it'll help you, talk about yours.
Sure.
No. I was just wondering. I was raised by dwarves, if you'd believe it. So they found me when I was just a wee baby, and I didn't know any different until I became maybe 6 or 7 years old. And my adoptive father, he was just an entertainer for our village, and he was of course a warrior. He was a fighter, but he was the man they'd go to help put on parties, or when people were, before they'd go out to battle, he'd sing hymns and songs and basically impress the rest of the people that they were in there. And by the time I was maybe 6 or 7, I realized how different I was because I didn't have a beard yet. And I was the only 7-year-old without a beard in our little dwarf village. And I was so much smaller than everyone else. And that's pretty much why I had to kind of get this persona that I have now. I just kind of learned from my father how to entertain people, and it kind of was able to make up for my lack of stature, so to speak.
Roll a deception or persuasion, Pogo. You can GM roll if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Geez, another one.
So much for the DM roll.
I suppose I'll have to see if that add-on has an option to
Worst
ignore
poker
that.
face ever.
No, Sarah, you're kind of looking at him, and he does have some kind of dwarfish traits. Like the way that he kind of carries himself is maybe a little bit more dwarfish than your people. He is halfling, of course, but he does certainly at least espouse some of the traits that might say that he's telling the truth.
So basically, I kind of understand. It's always awkward when I go back, and if I go back to town, it's kind of the small peg in a weird fitting hole. It never really fit in there too well. So I kind of understand. Although I will admit, my father was very loving, not in a weird way, not in a creepy way, the way you're thinking now, Serafina. But no, he was a good man. So at least there's that. Grab another beer.
Did we lose Becky, or is she just not?
I don't know. She's
talking?
just being very
She's
quiet.
talking, but
Okay.
I can't hear her on
is
the
she
headphones.
just
I can hear her in person.
is she
Okay.
just dramatic
Yeah, you're
pausing? Pause for dramatic effects.
She had too much to drink and just fell over asleep.
She's still talking. We still can't hear her.
Yeah, I'm seeing you light up, Becky, but I'm not hearing you. Is she hearing us, G? Oh, hang on.
Really
There we go.
Try again, Becky. Yep, I think it's...
didn't hear anything after that.
Didn't hear anything after what?
Okay, so I said that I have a good relationship with my dad, and then after that, everything cut out.
We didn't hear that at all, so go ahead and
Yeah.
say what it is you were saying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that I relate that my dad is a good guy, and then after that, everything cut out.
Okay. Well, we didn't hear that, so that was the end of the conversation. Then it sounds like. So go ahead. Go ahead, Justin.
Well, that's good that you have a, at least a father figure. That's a good man, good person. Is it just other things? Is it more like brothers and sisters, or just is it the whole, like, is there something about the city, the town itself that throws you off? Are they not happy that you went off to become this, adventurer and the powers you have? Is it a sore subject?
So I don't have any siblings. My mom. So I'm assuming that we're probably gonna spend the night in my hometown. And while my dad is fantastic, I have to apologize for my mother, because just don't take anything she says to heart. She's a hard
Does she hate
woman.
dwarves?
She is just a hard woman to get along with. Her name.
In what?
Yeah, it's no. It's
Do you want me to, like? I suppose I probably shouldn't flirt with her or anything just in front of your father. That would probably bother him.
That would not only bother my father, that would bother me. Just
No, I mean, just trying to
He literally just asked her, "Hey, do you mind if I try to screw your mom?"
No. It's more like as a, almost a comical thing. You just go in, you schmooze with the parents a little bit, and you sweet talk the mom. You say, "You're way too young. There's no way you could be here." You try to get on the good side of the parents a little bit. It's a thing that's worked for me in the past. So I'm just wondering if your mom might not appreciate things like that.
yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. She just don't take anything she says to heart. Just ignore her if you can.
I'll try to be professional and courteous and not my usual self around your parents, since obviously they're very important to you. Do you think she's going to have a reaction to our new friend Nazim?
Did we lose Becky again?
The dramatic effect pause. She's so good at the dramatic effect.
I'm just in the corner still singing to myself like a weirdo.
Right. You guys being serenaded by Nazim's awful music and Norok's dancing.
I'll tell you what. You enjoy your drink. I'm gonna go grab a beer, and I'm gonna go up there, and I'm gonna show Nazim what a song should sound like. Maybe he'll take some tips from me.
Yeah, you go do that.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a
Tomorrow will be
beer.
interesting.
I'll be on the good behavior.
That's great. She won't be.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we can always stay if there's like a little inn or something. I can just do a little show for them. I'm sure they'll get them to let us stay there.
Yeah, crap.
The safety
All right,
dance. That's what Norok is doing. Is the safety dance.
Okay, so it did work. Yeah, that's what I'm doing up there. Safety dance. Fuck yeah, dude.
So I'm gonna go up
While Nazim is singing some death metal, some thing that should not be death metal.
I'm just gonna tell Nazim to cool it down for a second, and I'm gonna go on stage with my second round. All right, put my drink down. This song is going out to this group over here. The what was it? What was her name? What was the name again? The
Haley?
Who? No. The group name. It's been forever since we said it.
Oh,
no.
Natural Ones.
The Natural Ones.
Yeah.
To the Natural Ones over here. Are you ready? I just put this together a minute ago while I was having my first beer. So I'm gonna start playing my my banjo to go along with it.
Does Nazim stop, or is Nazim still?
Tree.
Hang on.
We used to teleport. And when I think about it, it makes me need to part and leave this place of snow and cold and head to somewhere warmer. And I will find a cute young elf, and then I'm gonna charm her. Her hair is colored amber light, her cheeks are light and fair. I find her a bit alluring, but I don't think she cares. And then there is the halfling girl, her hair it smells like flowers. But I would not mess with her, boys. She's chock full of powers. Now I can't forget our new friend. His eyes are sunken shallow. His appearance dark and taste buzz stark. He seems a strange young fellow. And then there's Norok. The end.
That's the last line.
Yep.
I'm still dancing.
I'm
I
gonna
don't care
jump
if the
down.
song cut off early.
I'm gonna
The
jump down.
Crowblinders, all the half dozen Crowblinders that are in there, all kind of had leaned over chairs watching you. When you finish the song, they look confused, like they're not really sure if it's done or if you're just waiting to kick into another verse. And then you're silent for
okay.
a minute, and then you hear a couple kind of half-hearted claps.
There's only 5 of them, so I'm not on my egg game.
Not much of a crowd.
That was the song for the 5 of us in here, yeah.
Haley's grinning though; she seems to have liked it.
And I'm gonna backflip off the stage.
Give me an acrobatics. I just want to see you get a natural 1 or a natural 2, so you can't re-roll. No, unfortunately. Awesome backflip. Awesome backflip. In fact, backflip off of the stage onto one of the stools, and then a second backflip from the stool onto the ground. Just about flawless. Far too good, unfortunately.
By the way, if you're curious, that is like the only reason now that I wanted proficiency in acrobatics, so I can do goofy shit like that.
Yeah, stage dive type stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Are you guys doing anything other than kind of just relaxing for the rest of the day? You guys, have more that you want to do?
I have a couple things.
Go ahead.
I would like to, might as well see what the not store, but what they have in the not commissary.
Quartermaster, just to hold.
Quartermaster.
Well,
That's what
I-
I'm thinking of.
What, Becky? Becky?
I heard her say L'chaim.
What did she say, G? Did you hear?
I
Alright,
can't.
sit.
She's cutting out. I couldn't hear what she was saying.
Okay.
She was talking though.
Yeah, it's still cutting in and out a bit.
Does anyone else
God
lean towards
damn
their
it.
computer when they can't, hear Serafina? When they can't hear Becky?
I don't, but I sit here and watch Discord to see when she lights up so that I can tell when she's trying to talk. Try again, Becky. It might be clear now. I heard you, curse a whole bunch, so we might be clear now.
Hello?
Yep.
Yo.
Right. So I missed 95% of that song, but while he was singing, Sarah had dancing lights up behind him to make it kind of like techno shit.
Yeah.
Got a fun little stage show
nice
for
of it.
everybody.
Goes nice with my backflip.
All right. So Pogo has a couple things he wants to do. What's Nark doing for the afternoon, G?
Not much. Probably just resting.
Okay. Sarah, just gonna drink the afternoon away.
She's going to drink another drink and then go to her room and try to drunkenly read through the books that she got from Corn Xantalis.
Okay. And Nazim.
I will continue to hydrate, and I will be putting pieces of bread in my pockets as if I'm saving them for the journey ahead. And I'm excited to go to the capital.
Okay. So little itty bitty pieces of bread in random pockets.
Yep, just like tater tot pockets.
Before
I'm
he
gonna walk up to him
leaves,
and I'm gonna
Before
squish his
he-
fucking pocket as soon as he puts me in his pocket.
A very large, intimidating
was
man just
not-
smushes your bread pockets.
It was not very effective. I've already put my thumb in it.
Damn it.
These are pre-thumbed. These are pre-thumbed breads.
These are pre-thumbed breads. It's just bread with thumb.
If
So-
anything, it'll just make it so that it's not as hard and stale anymore. What's that?
Wait,
Fox?
weren't Sarah's books in the bag of holding so they'd be with me at the library, or did I give them to her when we got back?
No, shit. I would have gone and tracked Arteme down and gotten them.
Okay.
Gotcha, okay. Did I learn anything from the books I picked up?
I mean, it's a long road, I guess, is what I would say for kind of studying the anatomy needed for kind of starting at first aid and then kind of working past that. So I would say that you've gathered the first aid portion of it, but you pretty much already had studied enough medicine already, anyways. That was you actually did this the last time. I don't know if you remember that, but you already have proficiency in medicine, anyways. So you're able to kind of get through it faster than somebody who didn't already have the background knowledge.
yeah, I have half proficiency in medicine, so I'm trying to get full proficiency.
Okay, yeah, if that's your aim, then like I said, I mean, you're able to get through the basics pretty quickly with some kind of pre-existing familiarity, and then continue on the books. But it's probably going to take you a few days of reading this. But you can presumably if you have the book, you're just reading in your free time, even if it's just for the half of the long rest that you're awake for. then you can, kind of finish that off by reading through some of the books that are here.
Okay, well, I'll keep reading through the book for a while. I'll read until I could go start working on the leather, but I'm also going to try and find someone to see if I can borrow the books.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be anybody that is kind of leading or responsible for the library anymore, except for possibly Ozzy.
Okay, so I'll go track him down later and ask him.
Sure. All right. I'll go ahead and tell you that he says, yeah, of course, you can certainly borrow them. Just try to return them if you can, because they would be potentially useful in saving other lives.
Yeah, I definitely return them once we're back from the capital.
All right, then you have those, and spending the rest of your day reading then.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm gonna grab the books with me, go track him down, and then go read in my tower while I wait for the leather stuff to finish. Because I'll do the leather in sections while reading, while I do, part of it.
All right. Then, over to Pogo then for checking out with the quartermaster. What is it you're looking for, Gleeman?
Well, I don't know if you'll have it, and it's all right if you don't. I just we're going on some trips, and we seem to be not great on our kind of long distance supplies. So, do you have any just a couple candles?
We've got plenty. I don't know that Rook will be willing to part with too many of them, but what do you? I guess how many you need?
A couple. 2 candles should be fine.
Oh yeah, of course. Here, it's
Sure,
Wilson, by the way. You've worked with him, or you've
Wilson?
yeah. Rook is the actual quartermistress. She actually looked kind of bard-like. I don't know if you remember, but anyways, Wilson was her assistant, and he says, "Yeah, no problem." And he just grabs, comes back a minute later with a pair of them for you.
Is Rook the one having an affair with Pepperjack? I swear to God, someone's having an affair with Pepperjack.
So who you're?
She had an affair with the guy that knew the history of everything.
Quill. Yeah, and it's not even no. Okay, so hang on. You guys are you kind of yes. She has a huge crush on Quill, who is the historian, the Imperial historian. But that was unrequited, and Quill tries to duck her all the time. He knew her father and was close friends with her father, and she has a huge crush on him, and he's not comfortable with that, so he ducks her. She also sang a song about him here in the Crow's Nest before, and he was very awkward. She literally sang a whole song about Quill, and he was super uncomfortable. She was, she didn't say his name, but it was clear that she was singing about him, and it was made him super uncomfortable while you guys were all drinking together. This would have been right before you joined, actually.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I feel like I would remember that, but I also forget a lot. All right, so
she also sang a song about Samson that was really awkward, by the way, that you guys never picked up on. But she sang a song about Samson that didn't sound good.
Samson.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm gonna actually ask. Did you see it? Is Samson still at the fort, or has Samson gone somewhere else?
Samson has not been seen for. Sorry, who are you asking? You're asking Wilson?
Asking the Wilson.
Yeah, the assistant to the quartermaster. Samson hasn't been seen for at least 3 or 4 days now.
He's called an 8th master.
That sounds like it's probably racist in some way. But anyway,
an 8th master?
No, never mind. The 5/8 or a 3/8 of a person thing.
I get it. Yeah.
But anyways, he says, yeah, Samson hasn't been seen for a few days. People are actually starting to get a little worried, in fact.
Fucking haven't seen. All right. Well, let's see. Do you have just some normal oil, some lamp oil? I just need maybe 1 container of that.
We've got kerosene. That'll work. That's what it's intended for.
Fine.
Just be careful not to light it until you're ready. And he goes back through the curtain, comes back a minute later carrying a small jug. He tries to. It seems like because it's got a little bit on the outside. It seems like he must have taken some and poured it into this smaller jug for you.
That's perfect.
He says, stacks it up. Here you go. Just maybe wipe down the outside. I think I slopped a little bit.
Okay. And then do you have? I just need a few bolts for this little crossbow I've got here. This little guy.
He takes a look at it. Yeah, I think I should have some that'll fit that. Goes back in. He stops at the curtain. Are you
You
going to
don't
need
by any
anything
chance-
more? Like, do you just want to tell me all the things you need so I don't got to walk
Sure,
back
sure,
and
sure,
forth?
sure. Do you have, out of curiosity, for the bolts, do you have any kind of like any poison I could tip them with, anything like that, or is that not really your bag?
That's probably a Lieutenant Clover thing, and unfortunately, she is indisposed at the moment.
Right. And then let's see. I just need some more rope. I think I've used all my rope. We lost a lot of it. So maybe 50 feet of rope, hempen rope.
Yeah, I got that.
And then some bandages, some basic bandages, and some nails. Also some bells. Maybe.
Jeez, what are you
some
doing,
string.
Pogo? Are you trying to rob a fucking bank or something? What is this?
I was gonna grab some incense for my friend. Do you know? Has she been here yet to get some incense? She was very insistent.
Incense? We're
Yeah, for,
soldiers. We're
my
not
friend
hippies.
Akame. All right, that's fine. That's it. I'm done.
He had 10 bolts when I gave him the crossbow.
I know, but might run out if I get 10 more.
Don't we have that thing that can make bolts?
I do,
Well,
but it can only make, I think, up to like 30 a day, and I don't have it
it's 30
attuned right
total.
now.
Is it 30 a day or 30 total?
No, it's 30 a day. Yeah.
30 a day, but you can only have one out of the quiver
Maybe we'll have to have
at
a
a
conversation
time.
about that.
And I don't currently have it because I have other things.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't have it attuned right now because you have
Alright.
3 other things attuned.
Well, maybe Pogo will have a conversation with you later. Anyways, so that's it. Some bandages, a couple bells. If you got bells, I don't know if you held bells.
Some
nails.
I don't. I mean, I probably have some little kind of tin cups. You could probably make a bell. I don't really have. Bells aren't the kind of thing that we typically
Tell you what,
need.
you give me 2 tin cups and I'll figure it out.
All right. And he disappears. Comes back 2-3 minutes later. Drops a
right.
kind of a small crate. Here you go. Are you going to carry all that, Gleeman?
I'm gonna try.
All right.
It's not that much. What was
All right.
it? Rope and.
You owe me a song for that, though. Next time I catch you in the crow's nest, I want to hear something special.
I've got one.
Making
You want
me
to hear
walk
a new
back and
song
forth.
I've been working about?
You
This
just
song
let me
has
get
got
some
a
drinks.
very special woman in my life.
He kind of
So
squints.
this is a very special.
I want to hear it, but just how about you play it for me when I can actually enjoy it when I've got a drink in my hand.
All right, that's fair. Next time when I catch you there, we'll sing one for you,
All right.
and then I'm gonna take that back to Kettle Keep.
Okay. Then that means I believe everybody's back at the Kettle Keep. Then Nazim, what's Nazim up to? Everybody has left the crow's nest. Sarah, you had already gone back to go get your books and go read, so Nazim was the only one left.
Yeah, I'm just going back and to the keep, just relaxing, getting ready for the journey.
Okay.
Essentially, just looking forward to the trip to the capital.
Right.
Okay, question. If I were to unattune the ring and then attune the quiver, and then change one of my spells out to have flaming arrows, if I were to use flaming arrows with the snake bolt quiver, would that be so it'd give poison and flame damage when I hit a target?
Yeah. I mean, the properties of the snake bolt quiver are magical in nature, essentially. So, or sorry, rather physical in nature, in that the poison is just a regular natural effect. So you still could have a spell effect on top of that, sure.
Okay, I might change them out then. Instead of the ring, I might attune the quiver tonight. A bit like after I take my rest, because that would take me an hour. And I'd be able to read for another 3 hours from the books while everybody else is still sleeping.
Sure. Just remember that ring is +1 to practically everything that you do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you already roll real bad, so you do whatever you like. But that ring is potentially a 5% boost to practically everything you do compared to.
But it may
when
put my
you don't.
proficiency at +6 instead of +5, right?
No, it's +5 with it on. Everybody else is at +4. You're at +5 if you have the ring on.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
it also
Okay.
gives you bonuses. Doesn't give you bonuses to other things that she's not proficient in too.
No.
Anything you're
Okay,
proficient in, it's an extra +1 too. So basically 5% increase to anything that you're good at, and you don't really fire your bow hardly ever. compared to, you know.
Hey, Pogo might start firing his bow off if we want to. Maybe we can figure out a little switcheroo.
That sounded like it had to be innuendo somehow.
Yeah, I mean, Pogo is okay with sexual favors as payment. He's not against that. He's perfectly okay.
Whoops. I didn't mean to.
No problem.
Damn, I was like, did I really piss you off that bad? Come on.
That she's going to ghost you with her cloak.
Yeah.
All right. But you guys make your way back to the Kettle Keep then. Everybody kind of settling in for the evening. Anybody else doing anything in the meantime?
So,
You said you had a couple things, so I figured that's what I was asking you.
Let's see, a couple things to grab there. Hey, have you guys, just let you know, I asked about Samson, that kind of racist guy that we were working with, and no one's seen him in a few days. Should we figure out about that? Guys, I'm in the Kettle Keep. I just got back. I've got a box of stuff.
You're just walking in by yourself, just shouting to the wind. There's nobody nearby. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put my box.
All right, then. If nobody else is doing anything else and everybody's ignoring Pogo screaming, carrying a heavy box, then we'll go ahead and. Well, do you have anything else you wanted to do for the evening? Or are we skipping to the morning?
Well, I was gonna well, no, I guess.
No, go ahead. If you have something to do, go right ahead.
I'm gonna put everything but the rope. I'm gonna find Norok and give him the rope because I think we lost a bunch of it because I can't carry it. It's too heavy. And then I'll put the smaller stuff in my pouch in my bag.
So
I'd
yet
also
again,
like
Norok, you were just said, "Here, you carry this."
Well, do you want? You don't
not
have
even do
to.
you mind?
Pack
Not would you? But here you go.
I just
He doesn't even say anything. He just
this,
sticks it to me.
Norok?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, just
No
I just
problem.
kind of toss it over his head as he's like sitting down.
He's
And then
half
I'm gonna
asleep.
do like
just
a little-
just a bundle of
little-
rope throws over his shoulder.
little, make a little make a little point at him like you got it.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Well, I was gonna let Arteme know that I tried to grab some incense for her because I know she needed some, but they made fun of me and I left because I was scared. I didn't want them to stop. I didn't want to not get the bandages and other things I needed before I left. So.
All right. Then, well, with that, so okay. So you gave him the rope, and then you're carrying the rest of it. Is what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna carry the candles, the oil, the crossbow bolts, and a couple tin cups.
Okay. Then, with everybody preparing to settle in for the evening, Arteme, you this morning when you were woken up early, with Norok and everything, I remember you guys were digging through all of your things to make sure that nothing had been stolen. And in so doing, you found a note. There's an Isil Quendi tradition that when a loved one is leaving on a trip to hide like a special note in their belongings, and the note is all in these specific cases. The note's always sealed with a wax seal and then stamped with a symbol of a bird taking flight. And there's a common tradition amongst your people. They all know that this symbol, when you see it, when it's affixed to a note like this, it basically means don't open until you've left, and it's considered kind of bad luck or rude to open it early. So you saw this note earlier in the morning, but of course to follow this, to not break that tradition, you had left it, and now you have the note anyways.
Okay.
Presumably left by Leary.
I guess I'll read it now.
Okay. I'll paste that to you from her.
Oh, okay. So, right, the mini eggs. Do I just wait till they hatch, or?
You would need somebody more familiar with mimic physiology of what that kind of a creature is, before knowing essentially how those eggs would function. You know that now when you touch them, they're still like you touch them and they kind of stick to your finger a little bit, and you have to pull them away a little bit. Like they it feels like are trying to bite essentially, but they can't.
Okay. Wait. So does that mean I have to feed them?
Give me a nature check. You would gather that they probably are somewhat kind of stagnant until they're fed and may eventually die on their own, but they are a creature that is naturally born in dark places and caves that might just sit there dormant for decades, who knows, and then will eventually spread into a creature if some food source or enough of a food source is nearby.
Okay,
And
so
they emulate, what their environment is. So if they're near something like a box, they might turn into a box mimic. If they're near a door, they might turn into a door mimic or a whip or a broom, for example.
is there any? Okay, so I guess I'll have to find somebody more knowledgeable, or I'm gonna go back to the library and see if I can find a book on mimics to just like see and get them some food.
Okay.
Because I don't want them turning all into the same thing. That would be Hey, if I were to get one to turn into no, I guess they wouldn't be able to produce arrows like the quiver if I left them near it or the cloak.
They're okay. You don't have any reason to believe that growth would happen rapidly in any way, shape, or form. You would probably expect it would take years for them to develop into anything.
Okay.
So, just from that nature roll, anyways, because you rolled really well.
Okay, so I'll go look for a book while I'm waiting for the rest of the other stuff to finish, I guess.
Okay. All right. That won't be finished today. I mean, leaving it out to dry, it's going to take even with a tanning rack, it takes many, many days to tan leather.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, anyways, all right. So Artemis heading back to the library. The rest of the group then just settling in for the night.
I am gonna go. I'm gonna give it a couple hours and do like a little short rest. And then I think hearing about Samson, I'm just gonna go back just for a bit to have one more beer, maybe about 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock right before evening. And I want to go back and see if anyone there, just kind of a blanket, walk around the room, finding out if anyone knows what happened to Samson. So I'm curious.
The common room is quite a bit more full now. You do find Solomon, who was a soldier that you had shared a few drinks with before. In the common room, he's there's plenty of faces in there that you recognize, but he's probably the only one you've actually spoken with. Oi, Gleeman, your name escapes me. I apologize. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Have a seat, Pogo.
All right.
He pulls it out for you. So, you guys have been gone a while. What adventuring have you been on this time?
Well, we went to an island that was about 300 degrees. Apparently, we fought some exploding
in the South
plants
Seas. Where was this island?
Far, far to the east. I'll be honest with you, I'm not even totally sure. We just used one of the magical teleportation little majigs to get over there.
I don't know any islands to the east.
Populated.
What was the place called?
Neither do I. I don't know. Fucking exploding plant eat you because they're made out of little bugs island. No, it's terrible. Wouldn't recommend it. Don't even worry about it. So I was wondering though, when we came here before, we were being helped by Samson, and no one's seen him for a few days. I was wondering what happened. What's going on? Is there a word on the streets, if you will?
There was a let's say an unsanctioned excursion outside the walls, and a few of the men didn't come back, and then one did, and we haven't been able to get much word on where the lieutenant was at the time. So it seems like he was probably. He kind of leans over, like he's checking with one of the others. Brahali, I think. Yeah, it was Brahali, and he leans back. Yeah, just a private, to be honest. She came back a little bit shell shocked, and we're not exactly sure where the lieutenant went, but it seems like they were attacked or found out one way or the other, and things probably didn't go too well.
When you say unsanctioned, do you mean they kind of went out on their own for some reason or another?
The commander was pretty pissed. Yeah, that's what it seems like. The commander was not happy about one of his lieutenants disobeying and going out. Is
Brahali in here, or is he out on some sort of other patrol or duty? Do you know? Can you see him?
You see him kind of stand up a little bit and look around the room. No, he's not in here.
All right.
I haven't seen him since. I'm sure he's around somewhere.
Well, I appreciate it. I might talk to you later about it if you hear anything. Keep an ear out, just because I'm sure you know that Samson is. I mean, he's not exactly the friendliest of folk, but it'd be nice to find out if he's alive somewhere, if it's possible. So, if you hear anything else, I'll come ask you about it. Just keep your ear to the ground on that subject. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then I'll drink my drink and I'll head back to Kettle Keep.
Okay. All right. So, Arteme, are you going to trance in the library then and just read all night?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you that you don't find anything specifically about mimics of physiology, but there is kind of a book of odd creatures, and kind of reading through that to kind of gather as much knowledge as you can. I'll say it's tangential knowledge, but not directly about mimics. What's that, Becky?
Okay.
Before Sarah falls asleep, I have a question. Using ritual, can I set alarm in different places, or does it negate the first alarm that I set?
I believe you can only have it in one place at a given time, right? I could be wrong. Let me take a look here. Click on alarm for me. Just click on. Yeah, okay. If it doesn't specify, and it lasts for 8 hours or 10 hours, right? Click the spell so I can see it.
I'll just
All right. It lasts for
8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours. Yeah, it doesn't. If it doesn't specify, you could just cast it over and over again at different places. So every 10 minutes, if you're doing it as a ritual, 11 minutes rather, then you could put a new one up every 11 minutes and have them, in a line or whatever you're trying to do.
Right. Then she's gonna put it at every entrance to the keep and to every room that we are in. So Norok's room, Sarah's, Pogo's, Nazim's, everybody's room.
Okay.
And every can have a different, ping, so she knows who's room went off.
Okay. All right, that's fair. I would say that when it goes off, you would know which one has triggered it anyways, so that's fine. It will take you quite a while to do that because there aren't extra doors. Really, the only front door really is the one that's the main entrance to the Kettle Keep here. But there are windows, and then you have the parapet towers like Artemis' room, which is basically wide open to the elements.
Yep, nope, she's good. She's just gonna do it all. It's early enough in the day.
Okay, all right, then you spend... I'm going to say that it probably takes you to do this, we'll call it 2.5 hours maybe, just because each ritual, 11 minutes, does take quite some time. So this is an exceedingly boring process. You do go up to Artemis Tower. She is not there, of course. It is quite cold and quite dark out, but you spend the time kind of blocking off as much of the space for her tower as you can, as well as every room.
Yeah, so it won't go off if they enter, but if anybody other than them enters their room, it'll go off.
Okay. All right.
I pose a question to the group here, since this is my first night in the Kettle Keep.
Sure.
Which room is mine? I know where the cheese bathroom is.
Do you need a room, or do you sleep upside down in a doorway, hanging from the ceiling?
Is he
preferably a bed, not a small tent.
Is he a bat now?
I mean, I just kind of gesture vaguely in his direction.
This is the second floor here. I just moved everybody over to.
All right, so this is my room, and I'm going to show him. Flipping everything around, confused. Oh wait.
I thought didn't. Who took the master room?
Master. I took the.
Okay,
master.
so that's on the third floor. So let me move you over here.
Yeah. All right, so this is my room, and there we go, the one at the north.
And that tower, the tower at the bottom there is Artemis Tower.
Yep. So the one at the very north side of this. This is my room. You'll see I've done 0 decorating, and the fire is off and everything because haven't been here in fucking days. And feel free if you need to come up and enjoy the fire.
Abraham lit all the fires, so the fires are on.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at this. Look at Abraham doing the Lord's work is what he's doing. I love that man. I love that man, Adrian. He's just so noteworthy, Adrian. So anyways, this is my room. Feel free if you have any ladies over or would like some nice quiet spot. I figure this area here with the fireplace and the chairs, you can dance a little. You can have a little wine once, if you ever want to drink wine, you can relax by the fire. But that's actually my bedroom area back there. So this is more public space, but that area is mine.
To be clear, I claimed the whole tower.
Yeah, not just that floor, but
all the floors, because I'm using different floors for different things. I have herbs drying on one floor, the leather on a different floor.
Time.
Remember, she only has to sleep for 4 hours.
I only have to transport hours, so yeah.
And
I have a lot more time.
Better to have her in her own little tower making noise than in the middle of the keep or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so safe to say I'm on the second floor then.
Not to mention, like, some of the stuff I could do is, like, poisonous, so if I'm working on potions or, like, alchemy, I don't want anybody, like, coming in accidentally drinking something they shouldn't and then end up finding somebody dead. Like, that'd be kind of awkward.
Kind of awkward murdering your friends.
How
I would
poisonous
take
are we
absolutely
talking? Is it
no
like the kind of-
responsibility.
Can you grow like some mushrooms in there too? Like, or what kind of poison are we talking about? Like poison where you're like, oh, it's poisonous, but it's all right. Or poison where you're like, oh, not good poison.
Okay, well, some of them have antidotes and some would not, and some would be, like, pretty bad, like,
but,
pretty
like,
deadly.
you
Like,
know,
nightshade is a bit more
some-
deadly than some other poisons, so, and if you guys don't know fauna, it wouldn't be good for you.
Are you growing any mushrooms? Like any mushrooms up there?
Hallucinogens, no. I don't have a use for those.
Why? I mean, oh,
I guess fungi would
great.
technically be plants. I would theoretically be able to make them bloom with my weed
Could
plants
you?
now, but
could
you
you? You want to?
Yeah.
yeah, I would be able to. But
They grow super fast.
well, no,
Justin's asking if you'll make him psilocybin is what he's asking for.
You'd have to find me to ask that. Although I
Okay,
could,
so-
because for the plants I need for anything, like if we need Stratos potions or whatnot, what I do is I put a seed into soil and I use a cantrip to make it grow right away. So I could have the flowers to be able to do what I need. Like there's
not
just like
hearing a no.
varying stages of growing things. Theoretically, I would be able to if you have a spore for me to work from.
Oh, you're right. That's
Why would you
difficult.
need mushrooms? And I'm just going to cast Minor Illusion right in front of his face of an entire circus, elephants and everything in front of him. Just a small little
Yeah.
1 foot by 1 foot cube.
It's 5 by 5.
It's
You can
more
make
of
it-
a-
if you
it's
want
not-
to, you can make it bigger
yeah.
anyway.
I'm not trying
You
to
can
show
make like
off.
an entire
trying to
Dumbo-sized
show.
elephant. No, it's, you see, like this is nice. Like, and I'm gonna use minor illusion to create like a little like dancing elephant and like a little square. Like, or like that's nice. That's cool. But you know that warm feeling you get where you smile a lot, you get a little sweaty, but you're having fun. Oh, that's the best. You when we go to this halfling village, there's got to be people there growing them. They always do. Halflings, our people enjoy those types of.
So the
types
feeling
of
you
things
get when you
more
flail
so.
someone.
No, not really. It's not so fleeting, I suppose. It's more of a lasting element of that, of not that.
Each their own.
Yeah. I'm gonna lock my door tonight for sure.
All right. So, real
Sarah's
quick,
already alarmed your door.
Okay,
I'm gonna lock
but
it.
Pogo, you do realize that I'm still in the library, right? I'm not actually in my tower. I was just clarifying for
okay.
Nazim that I had claimed the whole tower, so one of you guys would have had to tell him.
But I also probably would have like known you were growing stuff in it, so maybe I'll talk to you about it one other day.
so the one I just marked there, that's Sarah's room. And then Pogo's is the one that we were talking about a bit ago. These up here, Norix was one of these. Gee, I don't remember. There's three rooms, pardon me, in that little block up there. I think one of those is Norix, right?
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
Unless you were in the cellar, I don't remember. But there's plenty of rooms, so you can have one, or you can figure out whatever room you
It was
want.
Abraham's room, though, because we told him to just pick any of them.
I think he is in the cellar. Let me grab the cellar map here too.
I know I created like an actual like bathing room and a shower in one of the tower rooms.
Yeah, I think that was up in the spot that's beside your tower there, if I remember right.
Yeah, because it was like 2 towers right together, and I'm just like, okay, mine.
Yeah. The staff quarters. This is his room in here. Well, that's there would be all staff.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
the only one by himself in that room there, in the cellar.
Gotcha. Okay.
But anyways, there's plenty of space for you to for Nazim to of course have his own room as well.
Sounds good.
All right.
One of the 3 rooms that are not occupied then.
Okay. Then you guys settle in for the evening. Arteme just lounging in a chair, half of the time trancing throughout that. Oh, I still had the wrong track on, but... No, it's the right one. Okay, never mind. Go ahead and apply your long rests as needed. And Becky, roll a percentile dice for me.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I gotta check something here real quick, so...
Where do I do the long rest?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Justin. Or sorry, Sal. I hadn't shown you that yet.
Remember, I'm wearing the
Oh.
necklace.
Dice, L wrist.
Yeah, that's it. Remember what, Becky?
I'm wearing the necklace. I have no idea if that applies, but
Okay.
Why does it say 8 hours for the long
It
rest?
says that automatically for.
Okay,
Yeah, there's no adjustment for that for elves or anybody else.
gotcha.
Theater of the mind. Just pretend to spend 4 hours.
Well,
Yeah.
for her, so a long rest for you is
Yeah.
still 8 hours, anyways. It's not. You only have to. So, okay, so you still have to have the full 8 hours, but you can spend the other 4 hours doing something.
Oh,
There's
okay,
still light
gotcha.
activity, reading, and so on. Whereas non-elves have to spend. Can only get 2 hours of that time doing something else. You just get more time, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm gonna keep reading, and then probably once like it's early enough in the day, I'll go find Ozzy to see if he knows anything about mimics.
Okay. Sarah, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
ugh.
Do you remember why it's a disadvantage?
No. Oh, fuck. Yes. Control?
I think if you just try control, and then if it doesn't either way, I need to chat that, and I keep forgetting to set the thing up so that it will pop up the regular box. Okay,
Nope. So, there we go.
it did. I rolled it with disadvantage the first time.
Oh.
Yeah, you rolled a 14 and 11, so control did it. All right, with an 11 then. Okay, morning comes. Arteme still, I would say, a little bit stiff and kind of uncomfortable, having slept in a chair. Not the most comfortable night's rest you've had, but at least it wasn't in the woods or somewhere surrounded by angry four-armed apes and shit like that. But still, you wake
Very
up.
true.
Yeah, wake up having gathered a good bit of knowledge, anyways, of the anatomical structures and science needed for basic surgery and things like that, as well as some of the physiological structure of certain odd creatures.
Okay.
We'll just roll in the future if you had read anything about that, basically about that specific creature. If you have a question about any of them later on.
Awesome. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the cloak. Like I'm just gonna unattune it and attune the quiver instead, and I'll reattune the cloak later. Because that's gonna be my best option to keep from rolling too horribly.
Sure. Yeah, whichever one you want. It doesn't matter to me. Sarah, go ahead.
Oh, I was to say, if Sarah gets another first level that she can do, it's going to be distort value. She's going to have
Didn't
that
you?
prepared.
I thought you. Oh, that's the one you want to prepare. Okay. It's 2 for the wizard level plus your intelligence modifier. That's how many. So look at your intelligence modifier
Intelligence.
is plus 2,
2.
so it's 4
Okay.
total. Yeah, so you can prepare 4 spells.
Yeah, so it's still going to be comprehend language, disguise self, distort value, and shit. What's the other one?
Your new spell, I haven't put that on there yet.
Unseen
Okay, all right. I'll tell you though, as soon as you wake, there's no necklace around your neck anymore.
Shit.
It's gone.
I'm going to search everywhere for it.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Investigation?
Yep. You overturn everything in this room. You are certain that it was around your neck when you went to sleep. So you first start with digging through blankets, kind of throw everything off the bedding, literally take the mattress off of the frame, looking everywhere under it, literally lifting up the frame enough to kind of, well, as best you can anyways, to peek beneath it. Looking everywhere you possibly can that you can imagine that it may have fallen off or if the chain had broken in the middle of the night, anything of that sort. It is nowhere to be found.
Right. And my alarm didn't go off at all?
Did not.
Shit.
In fact, it's probably just now ending, essentially, because you've woken up, near the end of the rest. So it was still on, and it never was triggered.
All right. I will tell them as soon as I see everybody at breakfast.
Okay.
That it's gone.
All right. Then
Which
you all-
necklace is this?
The one that keeps me from being seen by magic.
Oh, okay.
Amulet of proof it against detection and location. So with that, anyways, you guys all gather for breakfast. Sarah having told you all that the necklace somehow disappeared in the middle of the night. This was the amulet that was found in Autobai's tomb, by the way. You guys had only had it for a day, a little over a day. And she was wearing it, and it is now missing.
Where did Abraham at? He was here, right? In the keep?
Yeah, I mean, he lives here in the keep, yeah.
I'm going to find him and ask if he heard anything moving around or anything like that.
No, I didn't, sir. I was, to be honest, I was asleep, but no, I didn't hear anything untoward.
All right, we had a
Did
theft.
I-
Serafina lost her necklace, so...
Lost
Did I
the
have any
necklace.
weird dreams?
What's
Weird
that?
dreams.
I said, did I have any weird dreams?
What are
No,
we talking about?
no, you slept pretty naturally, anyways. Probably
What's going on?
restfully.
Someone missing a necklace? Did you miss a necklace?
It's around Pogo's neck. No, I'm kidding.
Oh!
He's a sleeping kleptomaniac. No.
I got scared that was some sort of weird. I was like about to have to.
I was like, okay, I could probably believe that, but I'm still in the library, so I wouldn't know yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I put like a thing that would let me know if somebody came into my room. It never went off, but the necklace is fucking gone.
Oh. And I'm
Is
gonna
Noctua still
check my
around?
Inventory too. Is anything gone out of mine? I must check my bag and my pockets and everything.
We'll say that you guys kind of, repeat then, or at least Pogo anyways, because the rest of you can as well if you choose to, but kind of dig through your bags or possessions. Nothing appears to be missing. Sarah, you do the same for the rest of your stuff. Everything seems all there. The only thing that's missing is that necklace.
Right, and I haven't had any dreams since I got Shan, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Hey Nazim.
Nothing abnormal, let's say. Yeah.
Nazim, is he in the room? Nazim, are you here?
You hear Pogo
Yes.
shouting for
Don't
you.
sneak up on me. Oh Jesus Christ! You're everywhere. Time. Did you didn't by any chance somehow like sneak through a window and take a necklace last night? Did you?
I have no idea what you're talking about. No,
All right.
no necklace.
All right. I totally and wholeheartedly believe you, and I'd like to roll for insight.
Go ahead.
I didn't hit the right thing. Hold on. Nope.
And
I gotta
Sako,
give
you
myself
can
that.
roll,
Private
roll either
GM
perception or
roll.
deception with a GM roll.
There you go. That's a GM roll.
Okay.
All right.
No, you believe in Pogo. He seems tired. He's just woken up and has a very clumsy, groggy gait to his floating, but he seems like he's telling the truth.
I'm floating
Well,
sleepy.
Sorry, I
Sleepy
didn't
floating,
mean to kind of jump on the blame there for you. It's just you are the new member in the group who had to double check.
Sure,
It's
but he's
okay, your
not the one with
insecurities don't
sticky
frighten me.
fingers.
All right. So then, who did Abraham see anything?
He said he didn't.
Did anyone else lose anything?
I didn't.
No, everything else is here.
I'm gonna check my pockets for all that bread.
Is your bread still there? I mean,
There's
mean,
all these
the
dozens
thief-
of little bits of bread in pockets. Yeah, it's all here.
all right. Well, I mean, at least we didn't lose the bread, guys. Peter!
Sarah,
I'm gonna go check on my griffin. Is my griffin okay?
He's wearing the necklace. No, I'm kidding. he's just sitting
He's
out
a
there.
thief. He's a very good thief.
No, he's just sitting out in the courtyard. Seems fine.
Sarah would have
Ooh.
gone up to a corner and wrote really quick in the script. I had a necklace that kept me from people searching for me magically. It is gone the next morning. Would he have had a way to take it? And just question mark
Who-
and leave it at
Okay.
that.
Okay, so
In-
you're asking what I
in-
assume you're asking then, right? You're asking if Shadowthrone
Yeah.
would have the ability to take it. There is a okay. How long are you going to spend looking at it after you send this message?
I'm assuming I've got a piece of bread already, and until we're, doing something or somebody talks to me, I'm just staring at this piece of paper.
Okay, all right.
Munching
Then
on
in that case, it is a long time. It's probably 45 minutes or so. Now, thankfully, with time zones, that's about when he would be waking up, right? So anyway, you do get a reply in a less practiced script, I guess is how I'd say this. So it's clear, obviously, that he's writing this, maybe one-handed, not over the, the way that he would be more delicately writing a letter, right? So we'll call this an informal type for him. But he does reply, I can't imagine he would have had any way except for the ethereal means. And then it's kind of a ...
So he couldn't have, taken it in my sleep and it, been taken in real life through a dream or something?
Not any way that I'm familiar with in all of my studies.
Okay. I'll just leave it at that. Go
Okay.
back to the table.
Okay.
Had she finished the homework that was given? And then got more homework? Because I know she had
She-
some stuff to learn.
So there was still 1/5. She did 4 of the 5 runes that she was supposed to translate and had not finished the 5th one yet. But and then he gave her 2 books, and that's what the Kamazoth, the bat, had delivered those 2 books, and she was working on those last night. She was just drunkenly reading them.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so she's still working on the homework essentially. Okay, what are you guys doing?
Well, since it's near breakfast time, I'm gonna go hunt some food and then find Ozzy and bring him a cup of tea.
Okay. Hunt some food. You can't safely
I
get out
don't
of
actually mean hunt. I mean
Okay,
just
okay,
go
alright, just making
search for
sure.
something to eat.
Well, I mean, with Arteme, I have to assume you.
That is
Okay,
true.
okay.
Sorry. Okay.
You're fine. Just making sure. It's getting out of the keep is going to be real risky. So, but anyways,
I have a question. Because of the snowstorm, those giant things that we fought that were flying, they can't fly in this, right? That's why we have the snowstorm?
correct, the
Yes.
Amora, yeah, it keeps them out and it keeps the dead from being able to, just clamber over the walls and things like that. Yeah.
Right. So I can fly you out of here, I'm assuming, if you want to go hunt. It's up to you.
You do know that the dead have archers. So
Yeah,
keep
I
that in
wouldn't
mind.
fly too far.
I'm
out of this
hoping
area.
I can get up high enough.
You can't go up high because that's where the portal is. That's literally where the cold is coming from. In fact, actually, specifically when you were flying around on the Griffin, or as a Griffin, I told you specifically you couldn't go very high. Remember? That was why.
No, if I were to go hunt, I would change into one of the animal forms and then just go forage small things, hunt a few small rabbits and small stuff I could easily bring back.
I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of rabbits out just and about in this kind of weather. They're all going to be in their little holes.
Yeah, but I'm good at tracking.
Yes, Sarah would not be okay with her doing that by herself, so she would want to use polymorph and go with her.
But that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna stay in the
the
cave for
Crowbinders
now.
aren't going to let you just go out anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, if you insist, they're not going to stop you necessarily, but they would, Commander, the Pepperjack would be involved.
Yeah, no, I already asked if going to hunt out, if they needed food or anything, and he said no, that they're just getting supplies brought in.
exactly. Yeah, they're
So
bringing rations in.
that's fine. They wouldn't have any spores. But would I be able to get spores off of an already made mushroom?
You could probably find some mushrooms. I mean, seemed like it might be an environment nice and moist. Suddenly, Pogo perks up. Mushrooms, yes. We can find. I bet we could find maybe. I mean, I don't know if they'll be the right kind, but we could see if there's some. You could do. Would you? If I found some mushrooms for you, could you tell me if they were the kind that would, be fun?
Yeah, probably. I'm proficient with nature and stuff.
No, I think you'll do great. It'll be fantastic. Do you guys ever want, if we have a day off, we could just, if we're in a pretty spot, maybe if we end up back at that island, we can go to that beautiful overhang and just have some fun mushrooms, and we can go swimming, clothes optional, it'll be fun. Norak, you've got to wear your clothes, because otherwise I'll feel really sad the rest of the day. It'll mess me up. It'll mess me up. I'm not even lying. I just can't. I don't think I want to deal with that.
Clothes optional, except for wow.
I never get to have any fun, I'm telling you.
What about Nazim?
Oh, I was just going to say, wouldn't you be concerned that
I feel like. Can you
cast
even?
minor illusions?
Yeah,
Terrifying.
there we go.
Very
It's
minor.
just-
Let's call it extra minor illusions. Very, very tiny minor
Minor
illusions.
illusions on shrooms create amazing
There we
trips.
go. It would be pretty fun. It's just an option, you know. Or what if we find ourselves at a fancy dinner party? We can spike the punch and watch everyone lose their minds.
Okay, so I'm just gonna raid the kitchen and the keep, and then go find Ozzy.
Okay.
Sarah is down for that if we're at her house and we just give it to her mother.
I don't know.
Just
I don't know if
saying.
we'll find. I mean, I don't know if we'll find because you need a bit. You can't just make tea out of like one or two. So
I
if we can find
could
some-
always make a sleeping draught. It would keep her asleep for a few days.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but, you know.
Well, it's an option if that's what you'd like.
All right, so
I'm just-
Artemis running off to go, see what she can gather, and then go meet Ozzy. What is the rest of the group doing? I guess, are you guys intending to teleport out tonight?
I think so. That was the plan.
and then go in under
Yeah.
the cover of darkness.
Then, for the sake of
Oh.
time, what are you guys doing with the day?
I'm just
Artemis
picking up
just told me what
my-
she's doing. You're gonna go check for your
Yep.
saddle.
I'm just gonna get my saddle and get it kind of fitted to Peter,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take it for a little test ride. And
When you
see if I can
make your
get
way
my legs
down
strapped in.
to when you make your way down to the courtyard there, sitting next to you couldn't see it when you first came out to check on Peter when he was sitting there not wearing the necklace, but you go out there and it's just sitting in the snow next to him.
Norok, do you think you can help me out for a minute?
Yeah.
Just help me tie this to the. It's just hard to make sure it gets all over. It's just a little easier. Just you get that side, and we're gonna strap it down to Peter.
Okay. Peter stands up awkwardly, flares his wings out, shaking off all the snow that has settled on him. He's probably got a good 3 inches of snow just sitting on him from laying still. Doesn't appear to be cold. Didn't appear to be concerned with the cold of the environment here. But he shakes it all off, kind of splattering the both of you with little bits of slowly melting snow, and allows you guys to spend a minute to strap the saddle around his torso.
All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just strap myself in with like what I can, so if he goes and does a loop-de-loop or something, I don't fall directly completely off of him. Hold on to the reins, and I'm gonna take him for a test flight around the keep.
Okay. Then you see as Norok is trying to secure the saddle to him that Norok kind of flings a bit of rope over one side of it, and you kind of have to step out of the way as it almost hits you and it smacks into the snow. And you see that Doros has crafted like a little rope ladder essentially on one side, and this kind of literally just a rope ladder basically, just with the rungs along the side. And as soon as you're climbed up, you realize that it's intended to be pulled up over your shoulder and then strapped down to the other side as soon as you're actually in the saddle. So you have this rope ladder that kind of throws over you like a seatbelt almost to kind of pin you down to the top of the
This
griffin
is
so that you can't fall off so easily.
fantastic. Look at this. Look at this right here. Love it.
This
I'm gonna go fly.
attempting to look majestic, this itty bitty little halfling sitting on top of food, Norok. You see Pogo spray the wings out of Peter and then lift off of the ground, spraying you with snow.
Alright. I'm watching for a minute as he's flying around.
Okay. So, Pogo, you lifting up over the wall of the kettle keep here, trying to get a little bit of distance, but you realize that almost immediately it is freezing fucking cold as soon as you're just barely up above the walls here with that blizzard blowing on you. But it is a majestic experience getting to soar over the courtyard here. Peter, it feels like he's adjusting to the weight. You don't weigh much, obviously, but he's not used to having something on his back, and he keeps kind of shivering a little, like not shivering, but rotating the muscle of his back occasionally, trying to kind of get used to you. And then flapping his wings over the edge of it, and he kind of dips a little bit too low. You feel like he's about to hit the wall, and then he flaps up over it, and as soon as he's up above, you just see this sea of dead faces on the other side of the wall. Just thousands and thousands and thousands. They don't really even appear to be looking directly at you, but it still kind of feels creepy and looks like they are, just because they're all staring directly at the keep anyways. And you kind of rein Peter around until he kind of dips off to one side. You almost feel like you would have fallen if you didn't have the securing strap over your shoulder, as he kind of banks backwards, back towards the keep again, and starts kind of flying around to explore and fly around, at least around the perimeter of the keep.
Awesome.
Is
What
Noctua
is-
still around?
Sarah? Becky?
Oh, what is Sarah doing?
Uh,
She is...
No, Artemis asked if Noctua is still around.
Oh, she should be.
Okay, I'm gonna find her later to like be able to like look her over to be able to change into a an owl, because that'd be useful too for scouting.
Sure.
I could go scouting with her.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't take long at all. You easily are able to study as long as Noctua is, being friendly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine, because Sarah's going to spend the day hungover and just reading the most interesting book that Corn Zentalis gave her.
Okay, so
And
that one then is the biography of Kalo Yennik, the halfling Sorconal sorcerer. Do you remember that one? One of them was the super boring,
Yeah.
the one that Justin didn't. I don't think it actually is a word, but it should be the inconspicuity of Sorconal. That one is the super boring one, very dense manual, essentially. But the one you're reading is called Fear and a Handful of Dust, or the painfully accurate account of Kalo Yennik's remarkably brave journey through dangerous lands, seas, and airs by Kalo Yennik. Yes, his name is in the title twice, but it is his autobiography, which is clearly embellished and made up, but still interesting and fun to read anyways.
Yep, so she's going to spend her day reading that.
Okay.
And
You cut out at the end there, Becky. And what? Right. Well, when it's working again. And what?
hello?
Yep. All right, try again. There we go.
Shit. All right. She's mentally preparing for seeing her family.
Okay. All right. What is Norak doing, G, with the day?
I need to actually, one thing I need to do is go get some more new rations, because you said that our old ones were starting to get bad, right?
Yeah.
Since we're getting ready to leave.
Yeah,
Well, I get-
Arteme's been supplying you guys with food enough that, like, fresher, better food than the rations don't taste so good, of course. So with Arteme's kind of better natural foods that you guys have been having, you've been eating those instead, and therefore your rations have been kind of starting to spoil. But yeah, I'll say that you can easily replace them. So, if each of you want to add, say, 5 rations worth to your inventories, you can do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Up
do
to
that,
5.
and
So
then-
dispose of the previous one. So you'd have 5 now, new ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna practice with the new sword. Kind of just go out in the courtyard or whatever, where there's nobody too close.
The stolen hours.
Yeah, and just kind of because gonna be a different weight and stuff than the axe, so
Sure.
kind of practice a little bit.
Okay. All right. Then you spend your day just wailing away at target or practice dummies and so on. I would say that you inadvertently destroy at least a couple of them. Splitting the wood in half, and now they have to kind of rebuild the frame, just because they're not really intended for your kind of mass to be hitting at them. But you've easily kind of practiced at it, getting accustomed to the weight to be able to actually use it. It's definitely too heavy to be able to throw. It's still easily wieldable by you, but does require both hands. It's not something you can try to do, like Vulcanbreaker, and not something you could throw. But you easily can wield it with clear accuracy. You feel like it'll be an easy enough weapon for you to hang on to.
Sweet.
Okay. We got Arteme. Well, Arteme will be coming back to her in a moment. What's Nazim doing?
I'm up in my room, kind of looking out the windows and looking at the arrow slits and everything at Pogo flying on his Peter, wondering to myself, or thinking to myself, how majestic this beast is and how foolish he looks as he's flying around on this creature, and just getting excited to go to the capital and psyching myself up.
Okay. Then we will. If as long as this is what you guys are doing with your days here, then was Pogo doing anything else? After his air reconnaissance, Justin.
I would have told the group about blah 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 blah. Irish for his name, Samson. I would have told the group about Samson going missing after a few days.
Okay.
And just like maybe over lunch or an early afternoon.
Okay.
So,
Nazim.
what does everyone have to say
Pogo-
about that?
Yeah, Pogo tells you that one of the lieutenants of the Crowblinders here, Samson, who they've had a little bit of adventure with before, and you've gathered from just context conversation that Samson is a little bit of a racist and kind of a religious.
Oh, he would hate you. He would not like you at all. I promise. I'm not even sure if I really care that much, but it's sad when you know in these times that you might lose someone you know personally. But he would absolutely hate you. He wasn't a huge fan of me, but apparently not a lot of people here. I think they're all a little too uptight for my normalcy, I suppose. The way
Where
I
is this
act.
Samson?
We don't know. No one seems to know for the last few days. He went out on a mission that wasn't really, he wasn't supposed to, and then he got, left out wherever that was. So I suppose he's just lost in the wilderness or probably dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd believe that. I think maybe Samson. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I don't think whatever it is good.
Oh, yeah. I'll find him now.
I mean, he's super racist. And
How can you? Well, hold on. How can you? You can find him. How can you? How can you find him?
No, I can't find him. I'm just saying that whatever he's doing probably isn't the greatest thing because I don't think he agreed with what Pepperjack was doing.
Oh, all right. No, but Serafina, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Nazim. You said something about you can find him. Is that what you said?
Oh, no, I said we have to find him now. He sounds awful.
I mean, we don't have to find him. Yeah.
Sure, he'll pop up eventually.
All right. Well, if you're not worried, I tried to ask about it last night, but it seems like there's not a lot of information for him. I mean, it's a bit sad, but hopefully he's all right. Maybe he'll turn up, or maybe we'll.
I'm not really worried about if he's all right. I'm sure he'll pop up eventually.
All right.
What
if he stole your necklace? What if he stole it?
That'd be fucked up, and I'd kick his ass.
But we wouldn't know. He could be here right now.
Well, then fuck Samson.
Did anything happen?
you guys see Pogo's jaw drop, and he looks around surprised and excited. Like, is he just hiding behind a corner? Yeah, nothing's happening. there's nobody around.
I don't think he's here. Yeah, it's worth a shot.
I'll poorly time both middle fingers in the air and just wave them in the air.
Flipping off 360 degrees, no response. Does not appear to be a Samson within visible range.
We should get out of here and sell some shit in town, and then apparently go to Dunfield.
What are we gonna do with these, by the way? Just pull out the fucking gold bars? Like, how are we gonna? Because we can't really just use a gold bar to buy things. We need coins.
We should wait till we get to the capital to sell those. I have this awesome spell that'll let us distort the value of something for an entire minute. So we should use that on some small shit, sell it, and then get the fuck out of town.
Well, I mean, but I mean that sounds great. I'm all on board for that. But we have these gold fucking bars. We might as well find a way to just use these for goods and services.
Yeah, but we should save those until we get to like the actual capital and sell them for their regular value.
How many just normal gold pieces do we have? Like just the pieces. So if we had to, so that if we don't so we don't have to come up with an entire plan to go try to hawk some random goods. If we just want to actually buy something like an ice cream cone or something, do we have any actual coins?
Okay, you go to inventory. There's platinum, gold, electrum, silver, and copy.
I have none.
Okay, then you just don't have any.
So as a here, I'm gonna actually make that 0 right now. Seriously, as like a group, we found were gold bars, but we didn't find any gold coins. Is that true?
Yes. So I have 11 gold, 14 silver, 38 copper. I also have 3 rubies and 3 sapphires, not including what's in the bag of.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the bag of holding.
You can't just go into a store and be like, I'd like this. Can you shave off half a ruby? Like, that's not how it works. We need coins.
But we can sell the ruby for coins.
I know.
And I can distort the value of the ruby to make it even more than it should be. As long as we get the fuck out of there within a minute.
But I'm just saying, we have gold bars. We don't need to be causing trouble until we really need to cause trouble. Why don't we just see if we can get, like, how much is each of these gold bars worth, do you think? Like, in just pure gold.
Do we know how much it's worth?
I'm asking, I don't know.
You guys have already estimated they're 250 gold each.
All right.
Yeah.
So like, why don't we just take here? I'll even use mine. We can use the 3 bars that I got because they're heavy. I don't like carrying them around. We can get gold coins. I can just keep maybe 150, 200 for some spending money. We can put the rest in that magical baggie of yours, and that way we have normal cash. So before we go in and like, oh, we've got 1 minute to con this, and it's like all happens right quick, snappity.
Well, no, because we'd give this stuff to Sarah. She'd go to the vendor and then just poof disappear. Like,
but what if I want to buy a waffle, or perhaps just something small?
Look at it this way. We sell what we need to, we get whatever money we need to, and then the last thing that we have to sell before we leave town, I use distort value. We get more money for it than it's worth, and then we get the fuck out.
All right. Can you just promise me then when we go to your town, we see if there's anyone there who'd like to just buy a gold bar for a couple hundred gold?
Do I know if that would be?
Is there any rich merchant in your town who just like sits on a big hill in his house in his little hobbit home? I'm sorry, I don't want to get sued. Halfling hole.
So at least when you left, anyways. Yeah, your family was the richest in town. Your father was the mayor of Dunfield.
Yeah, let's not do that to my family. Let's do that in
the next town over.
The town that we end up in. Yeah. The one that's half a day's travel.
I say we just find something. I say we spend some money on something big. I say we get some money together and buy. Is there anything that you guys really want or need?
I have a shopping list, so let's do this shit.
Does it have a Ferrari on it?
No.
Like, what are you gonna buy with 750 gold?
But what if we got? Oh no, that wouldn't really work.
Bees.
Nora, bees?
Yeah.
I mean, we could buy a fucking shitload of bees with some money. I don't think bees are terribly expensive.
I mean,
we might even be able to find some bees.
It's the irradiation process that makes it really expensive.
Yep, atomic bees.
If you're gonna make them atomic, you gotta
like paper and ink and
Well, you need that special paper. You need that wizard paper.
Okay, wait. So
that's expensive.
Gotta find a local apiculturist.
So Nazim actually wants bees. Like, actually just wants bees. Like,
Wouldn't.
Is it just normal bees, enchanted bees, magical bees? Like, do you just want bees in a jar?
He has a spell. So he has a spell, and it requires 300 bees' knees. So he has to get the bees and separate the knees.
So it's 150 of them.
Because they're the best.
Yeah, you need
Everyone
150
knows
bees
knees
then.
are the best.
Okay, wait. Is that an actual spell, or does he just want bees?
no.
No, Pogo's just being a jerk.
Okay, so he just wants bees. So wherever we go, I could just go find some bees, trap them in a jar with holes, and just give them the jar.
Sure.
Also,
why not just ask the hunter how to get like the animals?
Make sure you put a stick and a leaf in there too to recreate his environment.
Oh yeah, well I'd put a few flowers in there. Like I'd put a few seeds, a bit of earth, a bit of flowers. They'd have their own little ecosystem, be able to like eat, feed themselves,
Zim's gonna make finger guns at her and says, "Now you're making friends."
I feel like Arteme doesn't really know the normal habitat for bees. Give him
Flowers
more dirt.
that is the right habitat.
More dirt.
That is
More
because
dirt in with the bees.
Well, I mean,
okay.
they would try to make a honeycomb if you had a queen, but apart from that, just for
no. But what I would do is I get a queen and then like a stick for them to be able to make their honeycomb on. But then they need food, which you need the earth for the flowers, so the flowers grow with the earth, and then they have their food. So they have their home, their food, and everything inside the jar.
Speaking of jars,
Frank.
We should use that magic jar to make like a big amount of something today to keep here at the keep. Like some sort of nice, some sort of flavoring liquid that we could keep here. Like, what would be a fun thing to make with that big jar? I don't want to do mayonnaise because that'll spoil. Ooh. Can it make like a Dijon mustard? We can come back and have some like nice Dijon mustard covered sandwiches and things.
I don't think we're coming back in a day. We should probably just try.
But mustard will last. You can just make it. We'll take it out. We'll put it into the jars here, and they can hold on to it. Make liquid cheese.
We don't need to pour it out. Because we're not coming back for a while, we should just keep the jug with us.
No, we can keep it with us, but I mean, we can only use it like what, once a day?
No, it's a certain amount a day.
Yeah, but all right.
It only does one
doesn't
thing per
matter
day.
if
So if you say mayonnaise, it will only make mayonnaise for the next day, but it can make a certain amount during that duration. Yeah, or wine or
Exactly.
whichever you
So
want.
there's-
Yeah.
How?
So there's no point in putting it in the jar. We should just go and.
What if
keep the jug.
Abraham? I mean, maybe Abraham would like. So Abraham,
Man.
Abraham, do you like? Is there any like product that you enjoy? Like it would be a condiment that you'd like, or that we can make for you. Something that's not here at the keep that you really enjoy, like a Dijon mustard or like a nice syrup.
I don't think it makes any of those. It makes, what was it?
doesn't make
Mayo, water. No, it only makes specific things.
He
There
looks
was a
very
list.
confused. As you guys are having this conversation, he's just standing in the corner now after Pogo yelled for him, and he does not understand what's happening here. Arguing
Abraham,
about
what do you-
condiments and how
What
much
is
you
it?
can make in a day.
Is it wine? Does it make wine?
Where is the jug? Yeah, where's the... I thought it
Who's
was
got
in the
the
bag
jug?
holding.
I think it's in the bag. Yeah, it's too big for anybody to just be carrying normally. So
Oh, I thought Norak had it.
it would,
I think it's
I thought we gave it to Norak.
yeah, pretty sure it's in the bag of holding. Yeah, because I mean, even if Norak was carrying it, it would be too big. It'd be like carrying basically a solid 5-gallon bucket, like a Home Depot bucket type thing.
Keg or something.
Yeah,
Does
keg.
the,
There you go. Small keg would do.
Does the bag in this one have a limit?
Okay.
It does, but it is still only like half. You guys, the stuff that's in there isn't heavy. You have a bunch of stuff, but it's mostly really light stuff.
Okay, so we can make acid, basic poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, fresh water, salt water, or wine.
Never mind, Abraham. Can you make can you
Mayo.
make some poison? I would love. I'm gonna see these arrows that I got, all these bolts. I'm gonna see if I can just dip them in that poison. I didn't know it could make poison.
How about I just make you poison from herbs, and we could save the alchemy jar for something else?
But you can use it every day. Like
Yeah, but you can
fine.
only use it once a day. You can make 12 pounds of whatever it is.
yeah, let's
Per
just make 12
day.
pounds of poison. We'll keep it here. I'll make a jar of poison. I'll carry a jar of poison with me.
Okay, and what happens if the jar breaks and the poison gets all over you?
I don't think that's how poison works. You gotta like get in. You gotta like drink it, or it has gotta like hit your blood.
Some of them
As long
are
as I don't have
topical.
any open sores.
Some of them are topical.
Let's
Yes,
go
what
to
happens?
the city and let's buy you a jar to put this poison into, and we can figure it out from there. We need to travel because it's already evening and we need to get going.
I'm drinking. I'm drinking a bottle.
Abraham interrupts. Do you guys need me? I mean,
No, go away.
No.
We're fine. We're fine. Abraham, by the way, I love you. I'm sorry I yelled.
he stood there for a good half
I
hour while you guys
apologize.
argued back and forth about
I
various
apologize.
condiments,
So,
and then
so
walks
by the way,
downstairs.
it looks like it only makes a half ounce of poison. So let's make a half ounce of poison. It'll take
Yeah.
literally, how long does it take? The amount of time it takes to pour it? Just here. And I'm just going to like pour out my mug. I'm going to find a cup and just like, come on, right now. It's done.
I'm assuming it's an action.
Assuming he's going to spend the 6 seconds to do it, yes, it is an action to use it.
Well, if he wants to do it, that's fine. Had I found
Appreciate it.
Ozzy?
Yeah, you did. You found him earlier in the day.
Okay. So what was the combo about the mix?
What was the what?
The combo about the mix. Is there like any notes I should be jotting down? Because I would have asked him. Yeah.
To be honest, Lady Arteme, I haven't spent a whole lot of time with them. Of course, I'm aware of them, but I don't know a whole lot myself. I mean, if you're really interested in this, I can at least see if we can bring in a book. I can next with the smuggling run that they bring in rations, we can see if we can get some more information about them. Is there a
That'd be-
particular goal that you're aiming for here, a certain type?
I'm just gonna show him the eggs.
You've been carrying those around this whole time, huh?
Just pooping in the bag.
Okay. Just be very careful with those. Now, if they happen to run into the wrong kinds of food, let's say, and have kind of decided their forms, and they start to grow, they may start getting hungry, and if you keep that bag there on your hip or something, you might end up with some holes bitten out.
Yeah, that's why I keep feeding this one, and I'm just gonna point at my hip. Yeah.
Your Brady Green lash? Okay. All right. Jesus, you people are weird.
Sarah has the broom. Shrugs.
You're carrying around... Never mind. Just... Look, you managed to live through things you shouldn't be able to, so if this is how you do it, far be it from me to judge. Just be real careful with those things.
You never know what kind of friend could come in handy.
Having met your group, yeah, I can certainly agree with that. And he kind of grabs his face and pulls it down a little bit. mocking Nazim's facial features.
Uh-huh. Anything you need before we go to the capital? Like any specific requests?
No, not at the moment anyways. You know, whenever you guys are ready, I can send you on your way. But if there's anything I need specifically before you're ready to return, I can certainly let you know.
Sounds good.
Okay, then you guys are gathering up to make your way to Half-Hearth.
Yep.
Last thing, as we're leaving, who is there? Are there anyone guarding those boxes of bombs?
Yep.
All right, then I will skip that.
Yeah, it's not strings anymore. It's in fact, actually, no, you don't know this soldier. But there's another crowblinder that's sitting with them.
Nope. I'm gonna let the bug ladies keep the bombs because they seem like they're pretty good with them, anyways.
Okay. Then you guys make your way in the evening. We'll call it 10 p.m. at this point on wine day now, Wednesday. You make your way to the teleportation room. Ozzy has already finished the glyphs for you. You don't need to actually expend any energy for it. He's doing it for you to teleport you there. He says, "Be safe. Enjoy your trips and whatever family arrangements you're attending to, and I hope to see you all soon."
Oh, I've got Peter with me as well, obviously.
He won't fit inside through that, but you can resummon him anyways.
Can you send him after? Can you make another circle to send him?
Like, he won't fit through the door to get in, is what I'm saying. He could fit in through the front, but not through the door to get into. He's big. I mean, he's
damn it.
Especially with the wings, he's not going to fit in through the door. But you can resummon him anywhere. Remember?
All right, Peter. I'll be resummoning you in a bit. Okay, I love you. I'll be with you shortly, and then I'm gonna undo his fucking saddle and carry his fucking saddle.
All right, it's bigger than your head. You
big. I know. I'm holding. It's like gonna be tough, and I'm gonna have to fucking hold it through the stupid portal.
Right. I appreciate that it wasn't just thrown at Norok's face, and here you carry this somehow. You know. All right, then you guys make your way through the teleportation circle and careening through this blue space out towards. You know that you're heading to Pale anyway. I'll go ahead and
you guys raised your arms up. It feels really neat.
I would have said
like a roller coaster. Anyways, go ahead.
Before we left, I would have said, I'll try to remember the time difference.
You hear him chuckling as soon as the blue circle snaps up around your feet. You arrive in a heavy, hard-raining autumn storm. You're inside of a building, but you can hear it just batting down on the roof above you. Are you guys seeing the flashes?
Just the rain for me.
Just the rain.
Okay.
Yeah, just rain.
Let me know if the flashes start going, because they might be too intense. I might have to turn them down a little bit when they start showing up. It's supposed to be lightning, but the effect is a little bit bright, so I don't want to induce a seizure for anybody. But anyway, the storm outside, it's a small room. There's a man sitting on a chair in the corner, just a wooden chair leaned against, and he's kind of half asleep. Head kind of leaned over his chest. When the flash goes off and you all kind of eyes adjust, it is dark, and he kind of snaps awake and looks at you, and he kind of squeezes his eyes shut, opens them up again. Oh, I wasn't. Sorry, I wasn't expecting anybody. Are you here for official business? There's some. Oh, what a weird group you guys are.
Nope.
Yeah, we're a bit of a weird group, but
We're just traveling through, just passing through. I'm Seraphine and Teely from Dunfield. No big deal. Just on my way home. Bringing
Dunfield, eh? All right. I mean, it's pretty bad out there tonight. So I guess if you're heading that way, just be real careful. Have you been, Miss Tea Leaf? Have you been back in a while?
No, it's been a little bit. We're probably going to stay in before we head home to my hometown.
All right.
Is this person a halfling or a human?
No, he's human. I don't know how to say this to all of you, but that weird group comment. I wasn't trying to be rude there. Just that, let's just say there's a lot of folks around these days who will not look too kindly on this mixed group you have here.
Is it this one? And then I'm going to point to Norok. Or is it this one? And then I'm going to point to Nazim.
That one, he points at Nazim. Sorry, you, sir. I don't mean to be rude, but you'll probably actually fit in okay. Maybe, as long as they don't look too close, I guess. Miss Tea Leaf, you'd be fine. Gleeman, you'd be fine. But the real trouble would be, and he points over at Norok.
What happened? I've been gone for a little bit. I don't know what's going on.
Also,
Yeah.
You'd feel really bad to know that he has a growth disorder. And this is a medical condition, and he has no way of helping
I have
it.
gigantism, man.
He's very sensitive. He's
Yeah.
very
Elbow,
sensitive. It's
Pogo.
okay.
Don't you call me Jolly Green.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't cry, buddy. Don't cry, big guy.
Elbowing Pogo to try to get him to shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
To be quite honest, I don't really know what it is the Juthrans are after. They just don't like people that aren't like them. Let's say, even the small folk. I mean, I have no problem with your kind myself, miss. But even the small folk of some of the farms get burned mysteriously, and nobody ever finds them. Nobody ever thinks to ask, or those that do ask end up going missing themselves. It's been real sad around here lately.
How long has that been happening for?
3 months, 3-4 months maybe.
Anything in Dunfield specifically?
I don't make it there myself to say. I don't really say. I don't really know. I'm afraid. Sarah, okay. So Becky, do you remember literally your very first session as Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what you're intuiting that's what he's talking about. That those are the people. Those are the Juthrans.
Shit.
Juthrans.
Yeah.
By the way, it's like a weird combo to where it sounds offensive to both Jews and Lutherans.
I guess
Juthrans.
that was not the intent, but I guess it could kind of sound like that.
Fucking, let's get both religions in here. Fuck them.
I'll tell you. So everybody except for Norok, because Arteme in the Estermark would be aware of Saint Juther as well. But actually, Nazim and Norok probably wouldn't know these. But Saint Juther was a human. So basically, the Juthrans believe that he ascended. Nobody else believes that he did. So they think he's an ascended, but he doesn't communicate. The ascended are tangible creatures. Like you can talk to them. Yeah, but they're demigods essentially, right? So you guys have, you basically the ascended are, everyone knows about them because they do physically exist in the real world and can be killed and so on, right? But Saint Juther, after he died, just disappeared, but they still believe he's an ascended.
Right, and Sarah gets a weird feeling because what's his name that we were with on the boat?
Samson.
He had
Samson is a Jutheran, yeah. Yeah. You're cutting out again, Becky, but... Becky? Oh, man. It's funny, because Ben is always, perfectly clear. Rarely has network issue, but it's always... Becky's is always cutting out. It's a different PC, so it's not that. It's a different headset, it's not that. It's just network.
Hello?
Hey, Becky, real quick. The network, it could be the potential of the network, or the cable, rather. Maybe it's if you're using the same Ethernet cable as you were before, but... Anyways, yeah, so go ahead. Yeah, I heard you say hello, so maybe clear now.
Yeah, no, she's just getting a weird feeling because Samson had mentioned he was the same religion.
Yeah. It's not an uncommon religion, especially in the border countries like this. It's just It's a very zealous, human first religion.
I was going to do an insight check on Dudeser to find out when he was talking about how he didn't mind, halflings, that he was saying, he's fine with it, but I want to find out if he knows more than what he's saying. Or if it seems like he knows more than what he's saying.
It doesn't seem so. I mean, he definitely was telling the truth. That like he's not uncomfortable or awkward at all. He seems perfectly pleasant around you guys. You being halfling as well. He if anything, he seems very concerned about your guys' safety if you're going to be going out in the middle of the night like this.
Thank you for the information. We will make sure that this big guy is disguised in some way. Sure.
Just be real careful out there.
Would you mind also, just since we were unaware of this, if since this is a bit of a strange occurrence that we're walking into, would you mind if anyone asked, just not saying that we came in right now? Because now I feel like that might lead people to us, and I wouldn't want you to have the thought that you might get us hurt or anything going forward. So better probably to keep this whole thing a secret.
You see him as you're kind of halfway through this. You see him look over towards the door. This is a relatively small little building, and he looks over towards the door, making sure that it's closed, presumably because there's nobody nearby. As far as you can tell, there's nobody else visible to you except for the windows. And he looks back. He says, "I'm no friend of the adjunct. I'm not going to be telling them that anybody came through. You're fine."
No, I appreciate that.
He said he called him the adjunct. You don't know who that is, Sarah. You do. In fact, Ben also does because of Ketis from a long time ago. But anyways, go ahead.
I'm going to use one of my polymorphs and turn Norok into an owl. Be like, just to be safe.
God, okay. That is a really... How long does that last?
An hour.
Is that... I mean... Oh, yeah, all right.
All right.
I have 3 hours worth.
I may change my appearance as well.
Okay. What are you altering yours to look like?
The most neutral looking person in that village. So pretty much take a look around, see what the common trend is. Blonde hair, blue eye, whatever it is.
All right. You can't see anybody out there, but I'll say that you would know kind of what an average Empire citizen, farmer or peasant of some sort out here would look like. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But specifically, the teeth need to be extremely white, unnervingly white, creepily white.
Because you have to have some creepy feature.
Absolutely. They have to have like weird veneers where they just look like chiclets, bright white.
All right. Okay. Then Nazim alters his appearance. The guy kind of eyes go wide a little bit when you do that. Norok, are you allowing Sarah to transform you?
Wait, why don't we do this outside, guys? Why don't we let him get back?
He doesn't seem weirded out. He's just, he just is surprised that you guys are doing this right in front of him. So.
We just want to make sure that we can get back to Dunfield without any problems.
All fair. All fair, miss. You do what you got to stay safe. They, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they're trying to enact a bit of a curfew. People aren't really taking too kindly to that either, and they're kind of just doing what they want. But like I said, sometimes people go missing and not enough people asking questions, so just be real careful.
Right. What's the curfew?
2 hours ago.
Right. What's the closest inn? I'm assuming Sarah knows.
Probably in town.
There are small taverns. Okay, let me be clear here. Both Dunfield and Halfhearth are halfling towns. They're like humans don't really come through here. This is only because it's a like I said, like an airport, right? Kind of like that. So this guy just happens to be from Eifelstead, from the city, and you guys are in these 2 little halfling towns. You guys can't fit in halfling dwellings. Sarah and Pogo can, and maybe an owl version of a Norok can. But the rest of you are, like, too tall. You're not going to fit in there. They don't build dwellings for humans.
Maybe we can find a place where we can make, like, a tree house. And I'm just going to kind of nudge Arteme a little bit.
In that case, Sarah used polymorph with some sorcery points and moved both Norok and Arteme as owls.
Sure.
Walk me through what your intent is for that. How are you planning to pull that off? Because it's
owls.
yeah. I don't see that you can
concentration
upcast her to do a second target, right? I don't see anything in there to be able to do it for 2 different targets.
Because it's concentration, so you can't hold it.
Well,
for
yeah, but what I presume that she meant to upcast it to do a second target with with a single cast of the spell. But it is concentration, so you'd only be able to put it on 1, and there's no upcasting option that I see.
So what she has is the twin spell, which means she can hit 2 targets at one
Can
time.
I'm just going
instead of
to.
one.
She's playing around. Do you want me to just make them invisible? Do you want me to I can make them invisible? That way they can still talk.
I don't think that they would be able to fit through the doors, so she would have used her spell to hit.
So what are they gonna do for an hour? They're gonna turn into an owl, and then an hour later, Norok's gonna explode, and the side of the building is gonna fall off.
Well, no, but hopefully by that time we've hit an inn and we've got them in a room, and they can just lay the fuck down.
I don't think Norok's gonna fit in a room. Can we have this conversation outside? I feel like we're being very rude to this man.
Don't even mind it, Gleeman. I'm honestly happy to see a friendly face. You may have kind of startled me awake, but beyond that, I'm just happy to see some folks that aren't clanging around in bright white armor, shouting about the Inquisition.
Yeah, what if we
Insight check. I want to know what he meant by bright white armor.
You would already know. That's what the Juthrans wear.
The Jews.
The
Jews.
Specifically, Inquisitors. So the Inquisitors are who Adjunct Cope leads. And those are the ones that go around wrangling people up. And then they disappear.
Right, they're the ones that showed up in my house.
Yep, that was Adjunct Cope.
No one expects the Juthran Inquisition.
Exactly.
Whoops.
So, listen, what if we did not stay in the town tonight? What if we found a nice little spot outside of town, maybe in some trees? We make a nice little tree house, perhaps, and then maybe me and you and anyone who can make themselves look more approachable go and visit your parents.
That's fine. I can make 2 people. You know what? It doesn't matter once we get to my hometown.
I hadn't even thought about Twin Spell, but I think that would work. There's nothing in there that I can see that would say that wouldn't work. So you should be able to do that with Twin Spell.
Yeah, it is anything outside of a self spell, and I can turn other people with polymorph. So.
Yep.
Let me just make them. If you're worried about the walk from here to your hometown, I'll just make them invisible. They know they can still talk, they can chat, they can do things, and it still lasts an hour.
I'm not so much worried about once we get to my hometown, it's getting out of this town.
It's a tiny, like, these are just farming towns. Like, it's basically, there's 5 buildings that are closely condensed, and then after that you're just walking literally through farms. You're walking through country roads with a farm on either side of the road. Until you get to Dunfield.
Let's just get out of here.
All right.
Make a tree tower and sleep.
I'm going to go ahead, and just for the meantime, I am going to go ahead and cast invisibility at level 3. So Norok and Arteme, you guys are both now invisible.
Okay, assuming you guys aren't, as long as you're not, resisting that or anything.
No.
Okay, then the both of you go invisible.
And if Nazim is okay, I will turn him into an owl and just...
He's fine. Look, and he already made himself look like a person. No. See, he's just a person now.
He's fine. Perch him on my shoulder if he's willing to.
Who? Pogo?
No, that was the owl talking, right?
Well, hang on. So Pogo was casting. Hang on.
I'm casting invisibility on Norok and Arteme, so they can still be perfectly normal.
Okay. But
just invisible.
And then Sarah, you're going to try to cast polymorph on Pogo?
No, on
Nazim.
On Nazim. Okay, gotcha. All right. I was going to say you cast it on Pogo. As soon as you do, the invisibility would drop because he loses his mental stats and therefore concentration. So
why would I have just turned into an animal if this is the case?
That works too. You know what? You turn into an animal. I'm just going to cast invisibility.
Why make everything so complicated?
I don't know. Norok, you're invisible. So enjoy that.
All right. So invisibility on Nazim and Norok.
No, right? Just Norok. Nazim looks like a normal human. I don't know why we'd have to do anything about that.
Oh, that's true. He already changed. Yeah, never mind.
I just look like an average citizen
Oh,
Yeah, he already made himself. Yeah.
with wonderful teeth.
All right. All right. So Norok invisible.
Turn the brightness down.
Arteme, are you turning into an animal or anything?
Yeah.
What are you?
Honestly,
what animal?
I feel like Artemis, she could probably just put a fucking hood over her.
No,
Beautiful
elven features are
pointy
very,
ears.
No.
elven features are very distinct.
No, I'm just gonna turn into a fox and run along with Sai.
Okay.
Oh, so cute.
All right, then you guys have a pair of foxes and an invisible Norok, and the rest of you then go out of the. As soon as you step out of the room here, the guard that was in there kind of gives you a hearty wave, takes his hat off, kind of waving his hat at you. It is storming hard outside. It is very hard rain. It is dense fog. It is a very dark night, and Sarah, immediately something feels wrong. This is not. I mean, you took plenty of walks in the rain, and even late in the evening and so on. Before kind of all of this began, and you were run out of your home essentially by the Juthrans, and you kind of step out into the road here, and there's just like the kind of feeling in the air doesn't feel carefree like it usually would. It feels tense. You don't see any people. Everybody is, it's late. Everybody's locked up and their windows are all closed up, and you don't see very many lights. Most of the door or the windows are all dark. But something feels off. It just feels kind of tense in the air. But otherwise,
Right.
you don't see anybody around. The town looks empty.
We need to get the hell out of this town, and then I'm going to put up an alarm. Everybody needs to keep their eyes out.
Wait, why?
Something just feels off. This is not... Something feels wrong.
All right. Well, on the good side is wherever he's at, Norok, wherever you're at, I mean, you'll get the jump on anything. Remember, if you'll be invisible, so you can always just run up to something bad and slice it in 4/5 of a person, I suppose, if you need to.
I'm gonna have Noctua fly kind of, I don't know, 10, 15 feet ahead of us and just keep an eye out for anything that looks weird.
Okay. All right. Then you guys start making your way out of town. Then heading south.
Are we walking to your hometown? Are we going to will we get there before we need to rest, or are we going to have to rest somewhere?
It's 10-minute walk between Dunfield and
10-minute walk?
Yeah, to get there.
Okay.
I'll scout ahead.
And I can't really do much because I'm carrying this big saddle. Do you guys want to wait a little bit while I bring my friend Peter back, or should we just wait till we get to town?
We should wait till we get outside of town.
Or outside of this town? This isn't really a town. This is more like a gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Outside, something's not right.
Should I go? How about by that farm? Maybe by that farm down there?
I'll help him carry the saddle.
You don't have to. I've got the saddle. I'm not going to let her help me. My pride.
All right.
We just need to get out of here.
All right.
All right.
You guys,
we'll wait till we get to the place.
You guys start making your way south. Then you seeing the what little light there is. Smoke coming out of chimneys and everything from Half Hearth behind you as you make your way south. Along the road, still walking for a ways. It's not slow going or anything like that. It's the roads are dry. It's mostly just dirt, but enough rock mixed in that you're not walking through mud or anything like that. It's just very stormy out, of course, and thick fog. Arteme, you walking down the road, there's you're coming up towards the kind of denser collection of farms where it's starting to get closer and closer, obviously, into what must be Dunfield ahead. Noctua seeing this as well. But there are more farms that are kind of closer to the road, basically here, where the farmhouse is near the road. These are all very small halfling dwellings. Sarah, these as you're seeing them in the distance, of course, but these are farms that you've known the families for your entire life. Many of them are no smoke coming from the chimneys, though, and no lights at all in the windows. Maybe half the number that you would typically see. This would be below the passive. Arteme, there are, in your fox form, with your fox nose, there are some dogs up ahead, and they're very large dogs. You don't necessarily recognize what this species might be, but they're like some big dogs in a building or something up ahead that looks like they're smelling campfire, basically, with the dogs nearby. And as you guys are approaching them, where this little campfire must be, you hear, "Oh, Who goes there? And you hear metal clanking.
We're just trying to get back home. I apologize that we're out a little bit later, but we had some trouble back there. You can see, and I'm going to hold up my saddle. The horse we were riding has unfortunately passed away, so we're just trying to get back home. I apologize.
We're from Dunfield.
It's hard to see a lot of features in this, but you see that the guy kind of squints a little bit. He's in kind of bright gold, very gaudy armor with a dark red cloak. You definitely recognize this is of the Jutheran faith, but you don't necessarily know the title or what rank that might be. Artemis still in fox form, not revealing yourself presumably, but you inside just kind of walking along.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Smile really large. That's to expose my teeth.
All right. He said, he kind of looking then at Nazim. Sir, you can go on your way. Miss and you there, Gleeman. Don't go running off. Just stay right there. And he kind of turns and steps inside for a second. And Sarah or Arteme, by now you can see they're in like a ruined little broken building here. I didn't switch you to fox form, but you can just assume from your token there that that's what you are.
Do I recognize the place?
The map's still loading for me. I had to refresh.
It is kind of a big map. Sorry, and I actually have the. Let me turn the lightning off. I wonder if that's having an impact here.
Okay, so the first time it stalled at 90%. The second time it stalled at 10%. Now it's going again. So, okay, there we go. It's loaded.
I put a bunch of cool effects on here that probably aren't necessary. I was curious how well I could get the performance going. Plus, this is a pretty good sized map that I could have made a lot smaller too.
Okay, scratch that. It's not loaded.
I know. I need to start. I like don't change the size of my maps, and like when I saw it on our 4K TV, I was like, "Holy shit, that quality's good!" But like, they're so unnecessarily large.
Yeah, you can really make them like you can downscale them a ton and not even notice, and they still look great. So and even if you're zoomed in a lot, they'll still look really good, even if you downscale them quite a bit. All right, then.
Pogo,
the guy then go ahead.
Well, Pogo is going to kind of walk closer, carrying this and looking very non-threatening. I'm really sorry. Are you sure it's coming down so hard, and we really just want to get back to town? I apologize for the inconvenience, and I understand. It's hard on you being out here in the weather, and we just want to do our best to get back quickly and safely as possible.
I put the fox in there for you, Fox.
Thanks.
Does Sarah recognize the voice of one of the guys that was at her house in the first thing that we did?
No, the voice doesn't sound familiar. I would say that this would be not a possible thing for you to recognize. He had stepped away after telling you guys not to move. He did tell Nazim that he could leave. He steps back over here, though obviously Norak is invisible, so let me just put an effect on him so that it's obvious. Well, none of those here. We'll just use the rage. Anyways, he grabs something. It sounds like from inside. Arteme, you recognize that there's at least two other people inside there, and some dogs, some very large dogs. But he steps back out.
As soon as he walks inside it, I'm gonna elbow Pogo and be like, "Okay, this is bad. Those guys were at my house when I jumped out my fucking window and then ended up kidnapped. This could be really bad."
As you're saying this, he has stepped back out and he's holding something in his hand, and he starts walking in your direction there towards the both of you after saying don't move. Walking a little bit in your direction and is holding up what looks like a lantern, and he reaches up and he kind of opens up what the front of it, like what would be the hood of the lantern, shining in your direction. And as soon as he does, there is a Pogo. You looking over at Sarah because she immediately lights up with this bright purple illumination, and her arm is just glowing bright purple. Like you kind of have to cover your eyes to avoid it. And he immediately shouts, "Stop right there!" And the others, you hear more clanking of armor inside as they clearly jump to their feet. It sounds like, and come rushing out.
Dropping the saddle.
As soon as he says that, I'm summoning Shan right behind him.
All right. Then we will pick up there next week.
Yeah. Those will be our first actions in combat. I don't think on that we get a free round because that's not too stealthy.
That wasn't. Yeah, there was no room for
no
surprise
there.
What's that? Yeah, well, yeah, Norak is still invisible, so he's going to get a little bit of surprise.
Oh, I'm pretty excited about that.
Which you guys didn't even think about this, but Norak actually has a badass ring of greater, like a special version of greater invisibility. You guys forgot all about it. He has this ring that until there's blood, until he's nearby blood, it will automatically get like a probably deadly kind of an attack right off from the start, from the get-go.
Invisibility is only a 2nd level spell, so it's like,
Yeah, that's true. And he didn't have it
If
attuned
we want-
anyways.
Yeah, if we want anyone invisible, I think it's Norak.
All right, so we'll pick up here next week then. That is, I figured I was trying to get to this a little bit earlier, but I'm totally fine with me as long as you guys were having fun. I just, we haven't had a fight for like 4 sessions or something, and really none basically since Aqua has joined. So I was trying to get to some combat so you guys can test some of your new abilities and everything too. But
It's true.
that
We've done a lot,
is next week is as long as you guys are having fun with it, it doesn't bother me one bit. I just don't want anybody feeling left out or anything like that. So. Which I know Ben really likes to get to hit things with his axe, and he hasn't got to use his new sword at all yet either.
Yeah, well,
He's had that new sword for like
some
he's had like 6 sessions. Yeah, there you go. See if you can find Samson or something. He is the 23rd. Then everybody good for the 23rd?
Yep,
be
should be
good.
fine.
All right, guys. Then I'll see you